I was on so many different medications. I wasn't feeling anything. And it like, I didn't have anything to do except like be on medication and do origami. So now I'm really good at origami. I can make so many paper cranes. I love de-wigging. I literally just throw, as I'm sitting here bald, my hair is super short. I fried her off, so she's in her regrowth period. This is all I do.
Still looks good though. The regrowth period looks great.
It looks pretty healthy.
I had a bag of like 6 of my big toenails for the longest time. I'm really glad. I'm not really glad. I'm really pissed that I threw them out. They were all black. They were really cool. Anyways,
I don't know a single person like this girl, but I love it.
We're here for a reason, and I'm like really happy to be here still, and I'm happy to be able to like connect. I love meeting people.
Hi, welcome back to the I'm Peaking podcast and question of the day.
If you could either have hands for feet or feet for hands, what would you choose and why? I want hands for feet.
Hands for feet.
Hands for feet.
Yeah.
Because it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the feet for hands kind of makes more sense because then you could run like a dog. Like really, like you could probably be like you saying.
No, you couldn't.
No, you could because you got twice the amount of feet. So that means you go twice as fast.
But then the rest of your limbs, the reason why dogs can is because
you would adapt. You've seen those people that pretend like they're like horses, like riding horses. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those people, like they can get into it. And then the furry community, wild.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Some of them with how they like jump and like how they run just like with hands as hands.
It's pretty impressive.
Imagine them with feet.
I feel like if I had hands for feet though, I would probably adapt to that very quickly and then I'd be able to like climb on things a lot better.
Oh dude, I'd claw my things all the time, especially at festivals. I'd have 4 claws of just like,
oh my God.
Yeah, basically 4 hands.
Dude, I'd be able to fidget with stuff 4 different ways.
Yes.
Wow.
I bet you could write 4 things at once.
Dude, I can't even write 2 things at once.
I can't even read.
Anyway, I have a follow-up question also. I think, not a follow-up question from that, but I have a second question of the day is let us know what you guys like to wear to festivals and events. What's your preferred stylistic choice?
Comfiness.
Yeah, it wasn't until recently where I actually cared about fashion. Like I'm actually starting to try now.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
You wore a little techno outfit to day 2 of Beyond. Okay.
I told myself that was like one of my resolutions for this year was like actually try my festival fits. No, like seriously, because
I
like
love that.
I've been doing this for so long. Like I've just been going to like comfy shit.
I know.
Yeah.
Mickey.
I'm trying.
Mickey Santos, the grandma of our community.
There's a good level of balance that we can all find though with comfort and being style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've definitely had fits that I was like way too fucking hot or like cold in. Remember Forbidden Kingdom when I wore my full fabric of the universe?
You were suffering.
And it was like 90.
Were you drenched in sweat?
Yes, I had to stand in the shade. It was awful.
To be fair though, the heat was so bad. I was in just regular, short sleeves, shorts, and I was suffering still. Like our entire group had to go lay down for a while.
Oh yeah. It's very like humid.
Yeah. Once the sun went down though, it was fine. But yeah, during the day it was awful choice.
I'm a Python girl all the time. If I can like run around like that, it's great. I feel so free. But sometimes I like to dance too much, so I like the t-shirt so that people don't see my boobs going.
Yeah, and usually I feel like you're always like later in the day you're always in like comfy clothes.
Okay, but I don't do that because I want to. Sometimes I have to. Otherwise I can't enjoy the event sometimes.
That's true.
Because it does get restricting. Like
it gets restricting, but I also just don't want anyone to talk to me by the end of the night because then I get over socialized, and so I'm like full outfit change. I usually have like 3 outfits in my bag at any given rave.
That's so smart.
Yeah,
I know, it's kind of a lot.
I feel that.
Oh,
I feel that. We feel that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I've already brought us all back to the I'm Peaking podcast. Thank you again for being here. I'd like to just go ahead and introduce the rest of our hosts.
I'm Mickey.
I'm Nand.
I'm Devin.
And I don't think I really need to introduce the beefy sunflower burrito that is this person right here.
Burritos will make me fart. Do not give me that.
I just know all of you are her little beans, and we know it.
Yes.
But this is the Sunflowerraver.
Hi.
Real name Hera.
Sunflowerraver.
The Sunflowerraver.
My real name is Sunflower. No, it's not. My real name is Hera. It's like the Greek goddess. Whenever I tell people in person, it's I hear a bird. If you call me Kira, I will not respond. If you call me Hera, you can only do that if I truly care about you.
I called you Hera a bunch of times at the very beginning.
At the very beginning.
I also did.
Yeah, well,
I mean, to be fair, it's because of like Greek mythology.
That's how
we're
it's
used
actually
to hear,
pronounced.
Yeah.
So, but my parents, the reason why they went with Hera instead of Hera is because they liked how it sounded more. And there's still certain parts of Greece that will pronounce it Hera instead. But it is like traditionally pronounced as Hera. So I understand the confusion.
So are you Greek then?
I am half Greek. The other half of me is German and Italian, which is why I'm so white. I look Greek if I have like not a blonde wig on and like I have like a tan on from the summer. People are like, yeah, she's probably Greek. I feel like right now I just look like an average white bitch, which I'm fine with. Can I swear?
Oh yeah. As much as you want.
Bitch.
She's like me.
But just so you know,
like you.
are you or are you not a fan of fan clackers?
It's got to be the right time.
Because we have a fan clacking sound on every single cuss word.
It's only on the social clips, though. It's not on the full episode. Okay. Can you imagine if it was on the full episode?
Oh, God.
Do you know how much longer Robert would...
I'm sorry.
You know how much longer Robert would have to spend on the edit? Oh, my God.
Okay, this is good to know, though.
Also, real quick before we get started again, just wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, BoomBoom Nasal Sticks. These are scented nasal sticks that you can use at any event or festival. They are great for if you go to the porta potty section or the bathroom and it smells like shit, which usually it does. They're great to use to kind of distract your nose. And also they cool you down when you're in the crowd. So there's many uses.
They're pretty great for like just honestly just kind of revitalizing you when you're at a festival.
You're just
this
like
would have worked so well when I was in that crowd for Sarah Landry because I was so overwhelmed. I needed to calm down.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk all about that later.
Yeah,
it's also really good.
But yeah, thank you to our sponsors.
Oh my God, it's
for
good for
giving us a whole bunch of BoomBoom because these are really useful.
Yeah,
it's good after a cry sesh.
After a cry sesh, it clears up my nose. I'll wipe it off though with my snot. Sorry for interrupting you, Nand.
Also, if you guys want to go and grab some, we do have a code for them. You can use code I'm Peaking and get yourself a discount off of them. But thank you guys. Whole episode like that.
My nose would be raw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Thank you again to BoomBoom. We love you guys.
So I mean, just for all the new people who are watching who don't know who you are, who are you? Tell us about yourself. Like, where did the name Sunflowerraver come from? Is it a character? Like,
there's so much.
Yeah.
My lore is about to come out. So, I'm Canadian as well, by the way. That's where I grew up, and that's also where I started.
Oh, okay. Daniel was right. Daniel was telling me like, oh, she's Canadian. She's from Canada, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, she's not. She's from like the States.
No, I'm Canadian. Well, I grew up in the States I was in Bothell for a little bit, and then I was in Arizona for a little bit while I was growing up, and then I moved back to Canada when my parents got a divorce. And so I lived most of my life there. I went to university there. I've played rugby for like 12 years. I still play rugby. I'm a beefy girl. That's why I went to university. I got recruited for my team out there. I also think that's where all my social skills came from because I captained my rugby team in high school for a few years. And I represented the province of BC actually for about 5 years straight, which was awesome. I always tell myself I could have gone and played for Canada, but I got kicked out of school by my third year, which will tie into everything about Sunflowerraver. Don't worry. I only started raving in like 2017. And
really?
I've only been, I'm still kind of like a baby raver. I've only been raving for like 7 years.
I'm still
wow, I wouldn't wait. That's insane. Cause like,
I started in 2016,
2014, 2016 for me. And I thought the Sunflowerraver has been around.
No. So
did you go from like 0 to 100 really fast though? Like the persona, the online?
Yeah. The persona online, I think kind of did. But that was mainly over COVID because I didn't have anything else to do. And so like when I first started raving, the only reason why I made my profile separate was because I wanted to post my ass online, but I had a lot of family following me. Does my family care? No, they don't. They're like super supportive of what I do. They just like, if we don't necessarily want to see your butt
if
all
you're
the
paying
time,
your bills, I mean.
I'm like, that's totally fair. I'm like, I'm going to make a separate account. If you guys want to follow it because you're my family, then great. My grandma follows my account. She loves me. She'll just respond
Number one
like
hype
almost,
woman.
she's amazing. Patty, I love you. you.
I don't know why. I just imagine your grandma at a festival with you, and she's just following you around with like a blanket, just trying to cover you all the time.
No, I took her to a rave with me. I showed her what I was wearing. I had on this like little bikini set. My butt was out. She goes, "Oh my god, you look so good." She goes, "Wait, I want to dress up too." So I dressed up my grandma. I've taken my mom to multiple events. Like I used to go to events with my sister all the time. I still try to. She's very busy though, like with her own work, but. Yeah, Sunflowerraver came about. I don't think that was originally what my profile was named when I first started raving. It was something else. But I clutched that username. Hell yeah. But Sunflowerraver came to be because of my boyfriend Marc. And so I met him at Lucky in 2018. And it was very this like love at first sight type of a thing. And we instantly fell in love. Ironically, it was to a BTSM set when they were playing in that little side room. And I'm a psychopath. Okay. I started this huge mosh pit and I was like raging. It was two face down.
Yeah, don't fuck with her.
Yeah.
she'll fuck you up.
I get bowled over in mosh pits a lot. I get thrown on like a little ping pong ball. But I started this huge mosh pit and I was having a time of my life and somebody pulled me out and was like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Because I guess I looked like I was taking a beating. And I was
but you were like having the time of your life.
I was having my life. It was my mosh pit.
Yeah.
So obviously. And so I was kind of pissy. I looked over and I was like, "I'm totally fine." And then I locked eyes with this dude and it was Marc. And he was like, in like the movies, they're like, "Oh my god, like the world stops. Like there's no sound. Everything's." That's literally what happened. I've never had an experience like that before in my entire life. And I feel very, very lucky to have had experienced that because I found my person. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that I told him when I saw him, I was like, "I miss you." I'm like, "How have you been?" And like I like was like tearing up and like crying a little bit. Like it was absolutely wild. And it was weird because he felt the same way. He goes, "I haven't seen you in like forever. Like, how have you been?" We've never met before. I've never met this man before my entire life. I didn't even know what his name was and he didn't know mine. And we stuck with each other for the rest of the night. And 10 days later, I went back down to visit him. And then we started planning our marriage. We were just going to do like a little courthouse thing. We were really excited. But he always called me his sunflower because he was like, "You're like a ray of sunshine." And he goes, "I love seeing like how like you like light up the thing." And I'm like, "Well, if I'm a sunflower, then you're my bee." And so you're a bee and a sunflower. And it was really nice. And it was, so whenever I see like bumblebees, especially like on a sunflower, if I ever look at it, I'll like instantly cry. But because he would call me Sunflower all of the time, that's just what I changed my raving profile to. And since we met at a rave, it just kind of was really fitting and it worked out really nice. And we were trying to go to events together as much as possible, but he ended up he was in Eugene, Oregon at the time. And he ended up moving back down to California just for work and things. So we went from being in Canada and Eugene to Canada and California. So we were quite far, but he would always drive up to see me.
Wow.
Yeah.
He would drive up?
He would drive up.
How many hours?
Wow.
19 to 20 hours. And he would come every single weekend.
He loved you.
He'd come every weekend?
He'd come every weekend to see me.
Wow.
And because I was in school at the time and he wasn't in school, he was doing like work and stuff like outside of it. And so, and he had more flexible hours than I did. Mm-hmm. And so it made sense. And like we would try to meet in festivals in Washington because he came out to the Pacific Northwest a lot. So we did Paradiso was our last event together. That's how long ago this was. 2018 when the last Paradiso happened, which was a shit storm. Literally a storm. But things were working out really well with him moving down to California too. He was near all of his family, and his family, he was still like working on mending a lot of like the relationships with them. And so being down there, I was like very supportive. I'm like, I want you to feel like you're at home with your family. I want you to heal the relationships with your family because family is super important. Family is super important to me. Like I cherish my parents more than anything in the entire world. Same. And my sister, Athena, I love you. Annie Z and Georgie.
Did you say your sister's name is Athena?
Yeah, my older sister's Athena. My younger sister's Isadora. And then my baby sister is Georgia. So I'm one of 4 girls. This house... Oh, there's been chaos in the house.
All very Greek names.
Yes.
So, I'm pretty sure those are all like Greek god names too. God and goddesses.
They're all Greek. Georgia's the one that's Greek origin, because Georgia's technically my half sister. So, but she's still fitting. Georgia's also, we call her Peach all the time. She's a Georgia Peach.
Cute.
But in one thing about Marc is that what people don't understand is that me and him were together for a very short period of time. And sometimes when I tell people this, it can be kind of shocking. It's like, well, how do you know this is the person? Because in July of 2018, he ended up passing away while driving up to see me. So it was really fucked up. It was really messed up and fucked up. But because the plan was that he was going to come up for my birthday, which is July 9th. And then his birthday is July 13th. And the weekend of my birthday, there was a festival in Canada called Faded in the Park, which is a fun festival, by the way. It's kind of trash, but it's like fun trash. And he was driving up on July 4th. And so he ended up getting hit by a drunk driver, and it was like a head-on collision. So he died instantly. And the other woman died too. Still very sad. I don't really want, I've found a lot of peace with like, I used to be like very upset about like this whole entire thing. And I'm like happy that she had also gone. Which sound like when I look back on that version of me now, I'm like, I'm not happy that either of them are gone, because it's like a really selfish, I might start crying like while talking about this. It's like such a selfish way to like think about things, because like 2 people were lost, and like was she somebody that deserved to lose her life too? Like, no, like neither did Marc. And I've realized that like I don't carry blame for her, and I don't carry blame for Marc, and I've learned to not carry blame for myself too. That was the biggest thing that I struggled with when he had passed, because I thought like his family was mad at me. He was driving up to see me, so it was kind of my fault. And I was like, oh, I could have convinced him to like do this or like leave the next day or whatever, and I couldn't. And it was really frustrating for the longest time. But within like, I'd say like the last like 3 years, it's been about 6 years since he's passed now, I found just a lot of acceptance. I still have issues obviously with talking about things, because when you lose your soulmate, it's really hard and your whole world crashes. But yeah, I have a dead boyfriend, which is kind of slay. Wait,
what did you say?
It's kind of slay.
But Marc's he's still a sweet bee. I'm a very spiritual person, and so he still like connects with me with a lot of things. So like after he had passed away, I went to go see a like spiritualist, like a medium, and she connected me with Marc. And the first thing that she did was she told me that he was like ripping up a contract. She goes, "It's a piece of paper," and he's like ripping it up. And I'm like, "Oh, I know what that is." And she goes, "What is it?" I'm like, "Oh, that was our suicide pact," because we had a suicide pact, because we were like, we're not living without each other. And I was like, okay, slay. That's something to keep note of. And then she also told me that he was with like a dog, but it was like a little yellow dog. And the reason why I believe this is because I didn't post about this dog like anywhere on my social media, like nobody knows about it, but I had a dog growing up named Java, and he was a runt, a little yellow lab, and he was murdered. And my dog was murdered when I was like 8.
Oh my God.
But he was with Marc, and Marc was taking care of Java. And I was like, wow, like that's crazy. And then at the end, she told me that the number 37 and the number 25 were important. And Marc wanted me to know that. 37 days after he died, I tried to kill myself, because I'm a woman of my word. If I ever give you my word, I mean it. Okay. I have proof, because I tried to live up to like the suicide pact, even though Marc had told me not to, from Beyond. And and I still tried to though, and then I mean obviously it didn't work, so I'm still kicking. Which I think I'm invincible. This has granted me a huge massive slay. I can survive anything. Trigger warning for anybody that doesn't want to skip through this part, by the way. I'm more comfortable talking about my suicide attempt now. Because of everything that happened, but I'm allergic to Tylenol now because of it. I tried to overdose on like 80 extra strength Tylenol pills. I drank like a 2.6 of vodka, had like a whole ass bottle of wine, and then in the morning I was like puking blood. And my rugby girls are the ones that like saved my life, and like it was Kim and Aaron that came and like took care of me, and I love those girls like more than anything in the entire world. I was pissed at first because they put me on like a 48-hour hold, which is a mental health hold, and so I wasn't, if I tried to leave the hospital, which I wanted to, they would have arrested me. But those girls like stayed with me like in the hospital. I was on like 7 different IV tubes for like 3 days, and then I got put in a psych ward, which is the worst experience ever. Psych ward did not help me. Thank you. The psych ward did not help me at all. I will like always refuse to go back to one, because they just drug you up. I was on so many different medications. I wasn't feeling anything, and it like, I didn't have anything to do except like be on medication and do origami. So now I'm really good at origami. I can make so many paper cranes. It's like, I'm really good at it because you didn't do anything. But the day that I got out, because me and Marc met in the scene, and because like the community, like it means so much to me, the first thing I did was that I went to an EDM show, and my psychiatrist and my therapist were like, you're not allowed to go unless you have supervision. And so that's why I brought my grandma, and I brought my mom, and I brought my sister, and we all went to a hardstyle show. and it was, I'm like blanking on like the artist right now. He's a song with Avicii, and oh my god, I hate myself. Why am I forgetting his name? Nicky Romero. We went and we saw Nicky Romero at the Harbor Event Center, and he has his song with Avicii, and he started playing it. I was like right in the front, and I was just like sobbing my eyes out. Avicii was not like an important artist to me or Marc. Louis the Child was. Better Not is my trigger song. If I hear that song live at all, especially the instrumental version, like that was gonna be like our first dance song because we're Louis the Child. Like absolutely,
I love Louis the Child.
So good.
It's like my second favorite artist.
Yeah, he's just they're an incredible like duo. I love them, and they're funny as hell. One of them I think still has a bowl cut though, and so whenever I see their videos, I just go loser.
Oh, Freddie. I think it's Fred.
It gives me kicks. He's a good looking man, but he's got a bowl cut, so it makes me giggle in a good way. I used to have a bowl cut, so I'm not really also one to talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I kept doing like stuff in the EDM scene and being a part of it, because I go to shows because of Marc, and I go to events still, even though sometimes like they can be really hard because of Marc. Even at Wakan last year, this is like my 11th time seeing Liquid Stranger. It was the first time that I liked him, but I was sobbing my eyes out during his set, which is weird when you think about it, because Liquid Stranger was like,
yeah,
and I'm sitting there and I'm like,
just like the dirtiest drop, and you're just like,
like sobbing my eyes out, and I'm like, but the reason why I was crying is because I was like, I'm only here because Marc is gone, and as much as I want Marc to like experience like these events with me and see the world with me, I'm like, this is what it's supposed to be like, and like he would be really proud of like where I'm at. And so I try to go to events with like carrying like his love with me and like being the best version of myself always. He's helped with a lot of things that like I've had to go through just like with my own self, especially in like the past like year, because I'm like, I want to be the best version of me, and I can't do that unless I'm carried. Excuse me. Sorry, it's my essay. It's my essay work, but I can't do that unless I become better for myself. And so he's been a big part of like just like my own like recovery and everything. And it's just like, it's nice. So when people come up to me and they go like, oh, like you're a Sunflowerraver, or they just come up and go Sunflower, like it like I'm like like choking up again, because like this is what he called me. Like people don't understand, like it makes me feel like he's talking to me through like other people. And so whenever people call me that, like I don't cry all the time, obviously I don't want to trauma dump on everyone at an event, but it makes me really happy, because I'm like, this is like, there's the reason why I'm here. And then I'm open about what happened, because people will message me and they go like, I lost someone too. Like seeing how like you still do stuff is like,
it's like an inspiration.
It's like
type.
inspiration. They're like, it means like I can do it too. And I'm like, yeah, like, I don't want people to know that they're alone with anything that they go through, especially when it comes to like grieving or loss. Like, I get it. Like, shit sucks, but you can get through it. Grief doesn't become easier either. I think every single year that passes when you lose someone, everyone thinks like, oh, like grief is easier to handle. Like it just gets easier, and it doesn't get easier, and it doesn't hurt any less. It just becomes manageable.
Manageable is a great word.
Somebody like a while ago, was like this grief box like metaphor, and essentially you have like a box and there's a button on the side and there's a ball in it, and the ball's huge. So when you first lose someone, the ball's constantly bumping that button. That button's your grief, it's your trauma, it's your crying, and it hits it so constantly. But as time goes on, the ball gets smaller and smaller and smaller. But it still occasionally bounces into that button, and it still hurts just as much. It's just less frequent, and you're able to manage it more, which is why the ball gets smaller. And so I'm just like, this is a really nice way to put it. But I also wish I didn't have a ball in a box. That, like, my ball hit my button, obviously, as we can tell. But like, I look at it as a good thing now, because I can grow from it.
Yeah,
and I feel better talking about it. You know, that somebody's probably listening and they're like, wow, like she's carries herself the way that I want to carry myself, because I used to look at people like that too. There was one girl that messaged me after Marc died, and she was like, my boyfriend passed away 5 years ago, like I'm in a relationship now, like I don't want you to like lose hope, because like there's still places out there. I'm like, I'm never dating again. And she was like, no, you deserve to have somebody in your life that you find love with, and Marc doesn't want you to be alone either. And I was like, okay, now I have a dog. So
Doug.
Mr. Doug. Oh my god, can we put a picture up of Doug?
Of course.
Yes. Okay, everyone, this is Doug. Here's my life. I love him so much. I drove 13 hours to get this dog, and I waited like 8 months for him. He's the most expensive thing in my life I've ever bought. He was $2,500, and I'm fine with that price. I don't care. He's my love. He's everything to me. He's a big reason why I'm still here today. So I'm like, die for that dog.
He's so adorable. I've met him on FaceTime.
Oh, you'll meet him in person when I move down here.
Mm-hmm.
He's very well behaved too. He likes to bring you toys when you walk in the door, and he just goes, "Rrr," and he likes men, so I like to say he's gay. So he doesn't have any balls anyway, so he's almost a woman.
It's so hard for me to like look at golden retrievers because like my childhood dog is a golden retriever. So whenever I see one, I start crying.
He's not a golden. He's an English cream.
Oh, he looks like one.
He looks like it, but he's slightly different.
Oh.
So if you wanna cry on him, he's I'm blowing a vape. He's basically turned into like my therapy dog, which is funny because I registered him as an ESA last year so that I could move in with him and not have any issues. I didn't realize he's like actually a therapy dog. Whenever I have like panic attacks, he like lays on top of me to like calm me down and like hold me, and like whenever like I cry, he comes and he licks the tears off of my face, and he'll just like sit in front of me.
Like a weighted blanket.
He's a 90-pound weighted blanket. He's fat. But anyways, yeah, Sunflowerraver is kind of crazy. Oh my god, that was so much lore. So
I just want to bring it back to the 24.
Oh yeah,
you said 37 and 24.
Yeah, it was 25.
Oh yeah.
So 25. That is Marc leaves me quarters all the time. And as like little signs that like he's like with me, I'm like doing something right, my life's on like a good track. And so like I found quarters. I have a whole fucking jar of them, and they appear out of nowhere. Like there will be I'll like go into my room, my bed's all completely clean and made and everything. I'll leave and I'll come back, and there's a quarter like right in the middle of my bed, and it'll sit right there, and I'm like, I didn't put that there, but it's there. And I know that it's from him. When I went back to Lucky the following year, it was really hard, but I wanted to go back because that's where me and Marc went. And I'm glad that I went, because I think that was like the last Lucky that happened. And where we had met during that time at BTSM, in the exact same spot, there's a quarter with sunflowers on it. And I like picked it up off the ground, and I just started sobbing my eyes out. And there's so many sweet girls around me at the time, thank God. I never had met them before, and they were just like, oh my God, what's wrong? And I was like, so my boyfriend died, and like this is the spot that we met, and like there's a quarter here, and it was sunflower. And they were like, we don't know what, they're all like rolling tits. Yeah. And they're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And they were like, oh my God. So I just got group hugged by like 7 like drunk, fucked up girls, which was amazing. But I still have that quarter, and I found another quarter too. From him that night, and it's weird. I find them all the time. They just pop out of nowhere, and like he also likes to steal my shit from me all the time, because people that have passed, I believe their energies are still here, so I think that's how he like manipulates things. So he steals my vapes all the time. He stole my beauty blender. I found it this morning. It was not my makeup bag, and I put everything, I dumped it out looking for it the other night. It's in my makeup bag today, and I'm like, I used it yesterday for my photo shoot, but now I'm like, okay, so that's nice. I think he's trying to tell me I need a new one because that thing smells. So, but yeah,
he's definitely watching out for you.
He's watching out for me.
He's like, I don't want it to like mold.
He goes,
like,
this is why you're breaking out right now, by the way, because your beauty blender stinks and you're not washing it.
Time for a new one, babe.
I have to go to the makeup store anyway while I'm here. I ran out of some products, so I'll get a new one. But
well, yeah. Speaking of all of that,
death.
Well, to move on to something lighter. And since you were talking about makeup, like, how did you get into like fashion and modeling?
Oh yeah, because like
that's a huge part of. Like, I understand the name Sunflower is part of Marc.
Yeah.
But you've become like a
icon.
Yes, that's the word. An icon for.
I mean,
I
literally knew about you because one of our friends that used to help us when we shot our videos showed me you.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, "Don't you know Sunflowerraver?"
Yeah, when I started content, you were like one of the first people.
I'm like really here.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Did you follow me, Nand?
I did, yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll admit I ghost followed because I didn't really use TikTok and Instagram like that. So I ghost followed a lot of the rave creators and just creators in general.
Yeah.
Your name just kept popping up over and over and over and over.
This bitch is doing something.
I think a fit that I will always remember you wearing is the Sword Art Online like esque one.
My favorite one. I was cutie toe. I have his sword on my arm. Mm-hmm. Actually, this is my favorite anime of all time.
Please tell me you're watching Solo Leveling.
No. So I've been
Hera.
busy. I took on like 3 more jobs, Devin, and this trip has been crazy.
I just want to show how
Um,
much of a nerd I am, but that's Elucidator.
Yes, it is. It's the
Yes, it
Elucidator. It's the sword. It's his sword. It's my baby. I want to get Austin a sword on my forearm so that the tips are touching. So I want tips touching on my arm.
I love.
So
I love that.
but I got into, I think, rave fashion because after Marc passed, I needed something to do.
Like an outlet.
I needed an outlet, and my outlet at that time was like drug abuse. I found when I go through something really traumatic, I just go drugs, alcohol. I fixed that.
Pre-workout.
If I could snort it and it was white, then yes.
We call all those things pre-workout.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-workout? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
No, it's okay.
You're okay. I did a lot of pre-workout. That's for sure. But since in between like doing like drug binges and stuff, I was like, what else am I supposed to like fill my time with? Because I wasn't going back to school, which is why I got kicked out because I failed all my classes. But which is insane. I started just playing around with my makeup a lot, and because I was watching a lot of beauty YouTubers at the time, and just like dicking around with that and like looking at like tutorials and stuff. And then because I was raving and getting a little bit more into the scene, I was like, oh, I want to buy more things. Like I wanted to, like, I was just spending money on like I Heart Raves all the time, especially I Heart Raves. I was buying for my Heart Raves since like 2016. It was ridiculous. Or 2016, 2017ish, because that's when I started playing. I'm like, oh, raves. But I started doing out like a couple like looks and everything. I think it's one of the first ones that I did was like critter clip stuff, which turned out cute. I look back on that makeup and I'm like, you could have done a lot better. Some of them were really cute though. And then I just started like posting more like outfits and stuff, and I was just like doing them at home because I was bored and I was finding like a lot of inspiration in it. And then in 2019 I went sober for like 8 months ish because I was like, I didn't know how else to kick my habit. I used to just cold turkey it. And I still smoked a lot though. I smoked just nicotine and vaping. That's why I still have this thing, which I cherish. But I just started putting out more stuff like that, and especially because I wasn't going to school, like, and then I wasn't doing drugs. I'm like, I have so much time and money, so I started saving my money, doing my makeup, having fun. And then I slowly started to see like my followers start going up, and I'm like, this is kind of fun. I'm like, I should probably like go to more events, and like especially the Vancouver local scene was really nice. There's a lot of people in Vancouver that are really good ravers. Like all my favorite people in Canada, like that rave, were people that I met like just when I was starting like Sunflowerraver, and they're still some of like my close friends. Like there's 2 of them is Mike and Tanya. They're married and I love them so much. They're some of like my favorite people in the world, and I met them like years ago. Was having fun with it, and then by the time that the end of 2019 came around, we'll finish this. Okay, by the end of like 2019, I decided to move to the States. And I had got my green card, and I was like, I'm already kicked out of school. I'm working at like an ice cream shop right now. I'm like, I don't care what I'm doing with my life. And I moved down to the States, and then COVID happened, and I had been working in the States, so I was getting unemployment. So I was just sitting at home doing nothing with unemployment money. And I was like, what do I like to do now? Because I don't do drugs anymore, and I don't rave, and there's nothing. And so I said, I like shopping. And then I just would sit at my computer and I'd shop and I'd put together things, and I was just getting heavily interested in like how fashion was and how rave style was. There's like other larger creators that I would look up to all the time that I was like, I want to dress like them. Like I like how they look. Like, there was like one girl that did a collab with Freedom Raver, like right off the bat, like when I started rating, I think it was like Steph Haven. I think she was like one of like my big inspirations. I know this is like old school raver stuff. Cutie Cacti was one of like the really big ones that like I always looked up to. I love Robin. She's so freaking cool. And then there was like other people like Jules Blue. I looked up to her a lot too. And I still like, I haven't met her yet. So Jules, if you see this, know that I want to
hit her up.
Kiss me if you want. I don't know. Whatever. But I was just getting like heavily like involved in it because I was like, I'm seeing all these girls and like they look beautiful and they're so confident. I'm like, I want to feel like that and I want to look like that. And it became this form of like self-expression because I didn't really have another outlet in my life that was super positive. Like I was like working out, going to the gym, whatever, but like doing my makeup and my hair and like putting on an outfit that made me feel good was this like really new thing in my life, and I found a lot of peace in it. And it was just like, now there's people excuse me, I burped. There's people following me for it because they're like, we have inspiration, and they're like, what else are you supposed to do during COVID as like a raver besides like find out who you are and who you like, how you want to dress.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And then I started seeing my following go up, and then TikTok happened, and then my TikTok started doing really well. But I actually got my TikTok account banned once because I showed too much skin, and they said, you're fired. I said,
as TikTok does usually.
I got
My
it
friend
back
showed
the
his
next
shoulder
day.
once.
Slut. I showed my ankle once.
Saint.
Wait,
Damn.
really?
Yeah, she knows Saint, right?
I know Saint.
He got the account back, but he showed his shoulder once.
Yeah.
What a skank. I mean them.
SMH Saint.
Saint the skank.
Come on, Saint. Get it together. But I was, I think I only started getting more into it because I didn't have anything else to do during COVID, and it was fun. And like, I don't know, what if I could figure out how to do things that brought me peace and happiness without having to do something that caused me harm was really important, because at that point in my life, I'm like, I'd been through so much trauma by the time I moved down to Seattle here. I got divorced parents. I had like eating disorders through high school. I was dealing with depression. I got a dead boyfriend. I got sued. I won, by the way. I made my own lawyer. Julian would be so proud of me.
Just following up from some of the fashion stuff, you were talking about how, rave fashion really gave you a lot of peace, and, kind of like you kind of picked that up. It's funny because while you were saying that, I was thinking like, wow, you turned like what some people actually have an addiction towards, like buying clothes and stuff, into like your career almost, which is pretty impressive, honestly. Thank God, right?
I spend a lot of money still on rave clothes. Like, I know people are probably like, oh, like she's a big influencer, she gets everything for free. I get things for free, but I prefer to an extent.
Yeah.
I like when it comes to like small businesses, like I don't like just taking stuff from them.
Yeah.
I feel really bad because I used to own a small business too, and so I was like, well, when people ask for free stuff, I'm like, but I spent hours making this.
Yeah.
This outfit's like $400. I don't want to give it away for free.
Yeah.
Can I shout out one small business that I know you know?
Do it.
Elmira.
Elmira.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Elmira, Cosmic Universe babe. I'm
She's
wearing
wonderful.
her rings right now. My little bottle ring. I have my friendship ring on. Like
She's
this
amazing.
one's her. This one's her. This one's her. This one's her.
You'll usually
This
find
thing's
her at like any of the SoCal
SoCal
raves.
events. She does custom necklaces. This is a custom.
Just look for the canopy that says Elmira on it. Mm-hmm.
She's literally one of the sweetest humans on the face of the planet. She has helped me too, just with like a lot of my own healing and stuff. She's really nice.
Yeah.
And she's really pretty. And her husband's really nice too. So shout out to you guys. I love you guys.
Go check her out. She has some really cool jewelry. Michelle even like stole one of the necklaces that she made for me, and she's wearing it all the time now. So I've basically just given it to her this point. But yeah,
it's okay. You should ask her to make you.
Yeah, no,
matching
I'll
ones.
go see her at the next thing.
At the next thing. She's
Oh yeah, I was supposed to go back. So the other day when we went to Beyond Wonderland, I was supposed to go back and see her again, but after that, like after us trying to get through that
models.
Trying to get through that crowd was just so nuts, so we just like
I'm so happy that I did not stay for that. I would have had a breakdown, honestly.
Yeah, no, we're towards the end. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk all about it. But sorry, just to reel it back into the rave fashion. I mean, I think one thing that's become like, kind of a staple in the rave scene is I like to term it as like pretty girl rave culture. Yeah. Or pretty rave girl culture. There you go.
I know this pretty rave girl.
Because it's almost become like a staple for like girls to kind of, really dress up for raves and stuff. And so I just wanted to know like what your insight on that was. Like, what does it mean for you? Because I imagine a lot of girls out there can resonate with, the form of self-expression and finding peace and being able to dress up and like really go all out at
and
these
not
festivals.
only that, like a lot of them look up to you to like have inspiration. Like
I think rave fashion is really important because I think it allows for self-expression in ways that like our day-to-day clothes can't. Like I bring a lot of my rave fashion now into my day-to-day fashion, hence why I look like this. This is like I'd wear this to a festival, easy peasy, because it's super fun. But I was able to find a lot of my own personal style through how I dressed for raving, even when it was something like a little bit more like inappropriate, or like inappropriate in the sense that like I'm wearing pasties and a thong, because there's still things that you can add to just that to make it you. I think a lot of girls nowadays think that it's a competition in the rave scene, and they're like, oh, I have to look the best, I have to have the most expensive outfit, I like, oh
I remember
nipple check.
I know we were talking about it earlier, but I remember seeing a TikTok of a girl talking about how much fashion in the EDM scene has become some sort of a competition because they want to look the best.
And like the thing is, like I agree with her. I think there's some people that will go to events and they want to look and dress the best, and they make it a competition. And I've been a competitive person when it comes to like sports and stuff, but when it comes to something like clothing, it's so personal. You can't make it a competition. I don't think your personal style is a competition. The only time I'll ever judge somebody on what they wear is if I'm like, oh, you know what, I think this color would suit your skin tone better. Like that's literally it. Like very objective things. I think you will look good in anything as long as you have the confidence with what you're in, because it's you. So that's what matters to me. There's some colors that I don't wear because I'm like, I look ugly in this. Like, this is my skin tone.
You know what's so interesting is like, all of you guys are bringing this up in terms of competitiveness, but I've thought about this before in terms of like fashion. Most of the people I've met so far, at least, they're all doing it for self-expression or a way to like build themselves up. And they're like usually, not just usually, so far, 100% ratio of people that I've met, they build other girls up. They're like, if another girl is dressed, you know, to the 10s, to the 9s, whatever you want to call it, they're just like, God, you're hot. You know, but they don't really compare them. Okay, maybe they compare, but they don't compete. It's like, I'm not trying to be more attractive than another person, but they do compare where they're like, oh, I wish I looked like that, or you know, like this could have made you look better. Just kind of like how you were talking about tones.
Comparison will lead to competition, though, is the thing. And I think like, there's always going to be like insecurities, like when you're in the rave scene. Like I still feel insecure sometimes at rave when I see like a girl like walking around in an outfit. I'm like, God, like I could never wear something like that because she just looks so good in it. And that's when like those feelings of competition come in. But especially with a lot of the therapy that like I've been through in my life, like after Marc, I was in like super like intense therapy, which kind of helped me understand like my ego a lot and how I compared myself to others. And I found out the only reason why I was comparing is because of jealousy, and jealousy feeds your ego. And why be jealous of somebody that's doing something that's really cool and like really awesome? Like you could probably go up to that person and be like, how did you do like your makeup like that? And they'd be more than happy to help. Like
I think it's like healthy to be envious, maybe, you know, like it's like, I want that also, but it's not jealousy where it's like, hey, I want that, to take that from you for myself.
I think it's also because just as humans, you always want more. So in a way, it's like, oh, if they have it, I want it. So it's like, it's unhealthy, but at the same time, maybe it pushes you to do better.
It can push you to do better. I think so. I take inspiration. Oh my God, sorry. My wig is wigging. I take burping too. Take a lot of inspiration from other like ravers and stuff. I know one of my Beyond Pacific Northwest outfits was, I totally ripped it off from this other girl, and I messaged her too beforehand. I said, because she wore it to EDC Vegas, and I said, I love this outfit, I'm going to copy it, where did you get everything? And she went, oh my God, I got it from here, 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 and here, and here. And I'm like, I'm gonna tag you in it because like I feel so inspired by this outfit. And that's the other thing. I think I've seen people get upset about this in the scene when someone copies your outfit. Oh my God, it's the most flattering thing. Copy every single one of my outfits on my Instagram page, please. That's why I post them. Like,
since this past Beyond, I actually tried on like one of the, like my pink outfit. I've never gotten so many DMs in my life from girls asking links to it. I'm like, oh, this is new. Am I doing something right? I'm so excited.
It's really exciting because then you share. You share with people, because like the girls are going like, oh my God, like that looks so good on her, and it's so exciting to be like, oh my gosh, like
I inspired you. Okay.
Too?
Oh, I sent them all the links. So like, here you go.
That's why on my highlights I have like a link specifically for all the wigs that I buy on Amazon. Like there's, because everyone always asks like, where your wigs from. I'm like, I buy all my wigs from Amazon.
I've always wondered, are wigs uncomfortable? I've always been like,
I don't have that much hair, so I don't really feel.
Does it get hot?
Yes, I sweat a lot though. So if you don't sweat a lot, you're fine. I mean, I took my wig off during BTSM this weekend because I was a little gremlin, and I was in complete gremlin mode. Oh my God. Wait, sorry. Pause.
I do love the fact that, like, you know, when it comes to like sharing fashion, sharing everything that we do in the festival circuit, it's all about like encouraging another person to have that level of self-expression,
Yes.
you
So
know,
fun.
and giving people that level of comfort and safety in being able to be vulnerable and express themselves through their clothing, through the way
important.
they look.
Yeah.
Expressing yourself through clothing is so important.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
feel
honestly, I agree.
It's so much more important than people realize because, I mean, we're wearing clothes every single day.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
I mean,
so
if you think about it, it is. I mean, it is truly a form of create. Like it is a creative outlet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I know for me personally, well, you guys all know, but for people out there who don't know, like I'm very into fashion and clothes, and I have kind of a clothing problem actually.
Oh, you do.
But I have too many clothes. But the reason behind that is because like we used to have this saying when I was in baseball in high school, and the saying is, "You look good, you feel good, you feel good, you play good."
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And
100%.
and when you look good and you feel like you look good, you are confident, and when you are confident, you do things better.
Yes.
Two thoughts on that.
Yes, I have thoughts too.
First thought, fun fact, I used to like wear a dress shirt and a tie anytime I had an exam in college because in my mind I thought, you know what, if I look good, I feel good, I feel
You
good.
perform better.
Yeah. So fun fact,
You'll look smart. You'll feel smart.
I mean, I would study in advance,
Yeah.
but the day before an exam, no studying. I needed to like
Yeah,
relax
yeah.
and then dress nice the next day for the exam.
Interesting.
And I always felt a little bit better.
Yeah.
Second thought that I wanted to bring up was crap. This is why I don't like having two thoughts. I forget
okay.
the other one. Self-care.
Yes.
Would you, all of you, this is a question for all of you, would you say dressing nice and, taking care of your style is a form of self-care?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a therapy to me.
Yeah.
Like when I'm doing my makeup, I just sit there and just
Oh my
like
God.
take my
It's
time,
so
put on
nice.
music. Like I'm like meditating.
Yeah. If I
Yeah.
have 6 hours to get ready, I will use every single
Yes.
minute of those 6 hours.
People
I'll
don't
take
understand.
a bath. I'll shave. I mean, I don't shave my armpits or my legs anymore, but I'll shave. I'll shave my. I have to shave my face sometimes. I have hair everywhere. I'm Greek.
I've had this conversation with people before because or at least with my mom, because she's very like, oh, your body is your body, so you don't want to. Everything that's on top of your body, tattoos included, are accessories. Clothing are an accessory. Makeup is an accessory. All that stuff. But there are people that I've talked to who are just like, no, that is my look. It is the look I choose to have. So the clothing I wear, the tattoos I put on my body, the makeup I put on my face. Like, sure, I wasn't born with it, but that is still me. That is still my look. That is how I choose to present myself to the world as I walk out that door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. Mickey, what were your thoughts?
Oh, people always ask me like, do you just dress up like that to look pretty? I'm like, no, I dress up like that to feel pretty because I want to feel pretty.
You already know you're pretty.
No, you're pretty.
You're pretty. You guys are pretty too, I guess.
You're pretty.
Say it back. Say it back.
You're handsome.
Oh.
I don't like that.
He wanted pretty.
You want to be pretty? Okay.
What's wrong with
All right,
being
you look pretty.
We're all just pretty girls. With like looking good and feeling good with rugby, I always wear my hair in pigtails when I play rugby, and I always have makeup on. I always do it.
Iconic.
Also because like I'm like one of the smallest girls on the field. I've always been, even like in university. At one point I was like 150 pounds in university. Smallest girl on the field. One of the smallest girls. There was like a couple girls like a little bit that were like shorter than me and like weighed a little bit less. But like I was still big hair. I was still small, but I wanted to feel pretty because then like when you have like a girl who's like 6'5", 250 pounds, solid muscle running at you, I feel good tackling her when I'm pretty.
Dude, there's
Which
something,
sounds like super like, oh, she's so self-absorbed. No, it
That's
just
so
it feels
badass.
so much better.
I'm gonna be honest. That's badass.
Yeah, imagine like a little like 5'4" like pigtail girl like tackling somebody that big because I can, and it's just like it's so much more fun too. Because people go, Marc, up on the pigtail girl, and I'm like, it's me.
That's how I felt in the mosh pit and lost it.
People are like, I'm gonna hit the pretty one, and you're like,
Oh, I got
"I'm
knocked
the pretty
down."
one?"
That's why I never really understood why people make fun of girls for wearing like makeup to the gym. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I
think
I can't because I would break out.
But the whole idea behind going to the gym also is to boost your confidence too. So like it would make sense in my head. Like if you feel better when you work out with makeup on, then do it. You know, and if you don't care, then you don't care. But you know,
I wear hair extensions to the gym all the time.
I think the people who are potentially, I can't assume, making those comments are the ones who are like, they don't see the necessity of having makeup on because you're here to work out your body.
A lot of them are guys, you know.
Yeah,
a lot of guys obviously don't. Most guys don't wear makeup, so.
And they don't understand that, like, hey, people still want to look pretty regardless of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Now, I do recognize, like, because my mom's a nurse. And she doesn't wear makeup anymore. I mean, she's retired now, so she doesn't wear makeup at all. But she, in her mind, she never understood why the younger girls always felt the need to put on makeup when going to work. It's like, who are you trying to impress? Because in my mom, again, Asian woman, makeup was, she didn't understand makeup was to make themselves feel pretty. I mean, if you already like, you know, fucking look tired as fuck because you're working a nursing job. A little bit of makeup doesn't hurt to make them feel pretty, especially if you're wearing a uniform that looks like everybody else.
Especially nurses work like such long hours. Like, I mean, whenever I used to work at a coffee shop, I was a barista for like 4 or 5 years, and I worked in Pike's Place Market, and I'd do opening shifts. So I'd wake up at like 3 a.m. I'd do my makeup, and then I'd go to work. I wouldn't put on a lot of makeup, but I'd put on enough because too, like, when somebody comes in to a coffee shop at least, and they're like, I'm gonna order a coffee, and they see me behind like the till, and if I'm like bright and happy, I also get tipped more. If I'm like, if I look like shit, they will not hit me.
And they'll also come back because they'll be like,
they go, this girl's so perky and bright in the
morning. Because like I worked at a candy store, and obviously a candy store is like all happy fun. If I'm the first face you're gonna see, you're going to like want to go.
You're gonna want to come in with like somebody's,
and you're gonna
like,
have a good
nice
time.
That's also valid for like nurses too. If you think about it, like if my nurse or my doctor looks exhausted and beat up, I'm like, are you sure you can take care of me right now?
And it's like nothing against like you look how you want to. It's just,
I think if you judge somebody for what they wear, or if you try to change their mind on how they should dress or control them in any way, I think it's based in a lot of own personal insecurities. Because I think what it comes down to is that, like, okay, you're jealous of what they're doing because they feel free and self-expressive, or like you wish that you were that, and you got to take that negative energy and turn it into something positive, because you can easily do that. I mean, I've done it all the time, and it's fun.
I'll put it. I mean, hopefully this doesn't sound bad or wrong. The one thing that to me, just it seems like it gets in the way is like girls who still have nails at the gym. Like, I'm sure there's ways to work out. I don't get that either. Like, I get it. Like, you feel pretty. I'm not judging you, but I'm like, how are you doing it? I feel like I can't. I feel like I can't grip the whole thing if my nails are just like.
I kind of. Okay, it's not that long, but I kind of
I know a couple people who have nails like this long.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, dude,
how
are you? They know. They get used to it. Okay,
oh
so
my God, that grip strength must be like.
I pick them off the same day. In rugby, you can't have long nails anyway. So I've never actually had nails like yours before in my entire life. Well, I did once for Base Canyon, and I got back from the event, and I came into the salon and I said, take them off. And they said, do you hate them? I said, I can't do this. I also never gotten a pedicure. So
I know it takes some getting used to.
I just wish I was one of those girls. So I'll get a pedicure though.
I only put on nails if there's festivals going on.
I can't even do it at a festival.
So I'm stuck with these for like a week.
I rip them off.
I paint my nails for the festivals.
That's cool though. I don't even paint my nails. It's like that one thing that I can't do because I pick them. So
I always fidget with my fingers too.
But then they look cool. See, I can't do it.
Yeah, they look so cool.
They look so cool. I just hyperfixate them. Like,
I agree.
Get it off.
Wow, we're the no painted nails couch. They're the painted nails couch.
They're the nails couch. They're the slay couch, and we're the
slay.
We're the slay.
So just to backtrack a little bit, this last weekend we did attend Beyond Wonderland Festival, one of the iconic festivals of the NOS Event Center here in Southern California. If you haven't heard about it, it is themed after Alice in Wonderland, and it's super cool.
What's crazy, it used to be themed underwater.
Oh, was it?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
It used to be like under the right? I remember it was like under the sea type thing.
Is that why Imagine's under the sea now?
I don't know, because I remember like back then we get like those magnets and it was like under the, anyway, I'm probably like Mandela effect or some shit.
But we just went to Beyond Wonderland. It is a 2-day festival, and it's very iconic to most of us who are here in Southern California.
Yeah.
And this year it was completely sold out, super packed, and I mean, I still had a great time. I know they still had a great time. But there's definitely a lot of negatives that we wanted to talk about, among other things.
Yeah, I will say, Beyond is kind of like the start of festival season.
Yeah.
Even if you look
in
it up
California.
In California, yeah. Well,
yes,
if you look
there's
up
festivals every month, but like Beyond is like the kickstart.
If you look up on Google festival season, it will tell you March through August. So it kind of is like, like you just said, it kind of kicks off like all the major festivals that are going on. You have Coachella in April, EDC in May. Yep. You got like 5 different festivals in June. So there's a ton that start at this point. And so Beyond there's a high chance that Beyond would be sold out or would have a lot of people attending, because for January and February there's hardly anything going on. We call it dry season. So.
Specifically Beyond in SoCal though, because I know Beyond,
they just opened one in Chicago.
I'm going to that this year.
Oh, really?
I'm doing all 3 Beyonds this year.
Wow. I want to go to PNW.
I was going to say PNW is in June. Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to be specific a little bit for the people watching. Like Beyond SoCal is kind of the kickstart of festival season throughout the States, in particular in the States.
Yeah.
This is Beyond my first festival since October.
Ew.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
I haven't been to a festival since October, and then Beyond.
Make easy
ground.
I needed a break.
Just kidding. And you know what? You're totally valid, because honestly, like I was just talking to Nand about this at Beyond. Like we were feeling like pretty burnt out, because even after taking such a long break with dry season, the end of last year, we were just going to festivals
back to back
every weekend with Dream State Apocalypse.
It's like I still went to events, but festivals.
Yeah, I don't either.
I gotta give it to Beyond though, because the Beyond is where I made a lot of the friends that I have today, or connected very, very well. Like for example, Mickey and I met
you guys at
Beyond 2022. Wow. Beyond 2022, and we became friends from that point on. But the previous year, Beyond 2021, when it was in August. I had tickets. I had tickets from the previous year of 2020 when it got canceled.
I did too.
And I was on my way to shoot a video with Devin, and he wasn't gonna go. And then I remember hitting up my big and being like, "Hey, ticket. I bought his ticket." And keep in mind, this is early on in our friendship where we weren't like, "Oh my God, you're my best friend," but like, "Hey, we love shooting videos together. Let's keep working together." And I just felt like, "Hey, I want to go to Beyond still, and I want you to come with me." So I bought his ticket, and it was like $100 at the time, because it was that year.
Yeah.
Wow. Because people were like reselling it. No one was
also
going.
one day.
Yeah,
no one was going second day.
Yeah.
So he came with me. We did a 1-day trip. It was awesome. And then I think soon after that, he invited me to something, and we've just been going to everything ever since.
Yeah, Beyond's always held a special place in my heart. Like even before meeting them, like Beyond is probably my 3rd festival ever, and I had the best time. Like I don't know
that, and I
something about it.
Also throw this in there too. That same Beyond of 2021 is how me and Devin met some of our very closest friends we've ever had, and still have to this day.
Yeah. They're a big reason why we're able to go to so many events in San Bernardino, is because they actually are from San Bernardino. And shout out to Jesse and Dustin, by the way. They're the nicest married couple with kids, and just a beautiful family.
I do remember that Beyond 2021 being more packed than even the Beyond of this year. I do remember that.
Maybe it's because it was one of the first ones.
Oh yeah, I think it was one of the first ones back. Yeah,
it was like EDC when it first came back, and I went that year, and I had an awful time. People were like, "Are you gonna go this year?" And I'm like,
"Are you talking about EDC 2021 in October?"
No, the 2021 one was not packed. Yeah, 2022 was packed.
2022 was.
Yeah. 2021 was not packed at all.
That was awesome.
It was awesome because there was so much space. There was so much room. Yeah, it was amazing.
Don't look at my feet.
But even this year's
for free.
I know. I'm sorry. My knees
but
hurt.
even this year's Beyond was actually really great, because I actually met a lot of my internet friends that I haven't met in person.
Yeah,
so it was actually really good to see them.
Same.
Yeah.
I met Blaze in person.
Yeah.
I met Blaze in person for the first time.
Bella
I met Bella in person for the first time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fun people.
But all that said, there were definitely some things that could have been better during the weekend.
Don't make me
can
mad.
I go in on this? Can I please go in on this?
Okay,
Because
go.
I can be neutral and not be like, obviously people know I'm not the biggest fan of techno, but I'm not going to get mad at techno right now.
I missed it because it was too busy.
Let's just start by saying crowd control.
Here's the thing. And this is going to be a hot take. This is a hot take because people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, you like conflicts?" Yes, I do. I like
There
conflicts.
should be set conflicts
because they have to have set conflicts so that the foot traffic actually separates. Could you imagine a 50,000 person venue all in the same
one
spot?
area?
No,
it's one stage.
It gets too dangerous. It gets honestly, Travis Scott. It'll be like Astroworld all over again. If
that's literally how I felt when I tried getting into Sarah Landry's set.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I was so upset because she was the number one person I wanted to see the whole weekend. And when I tried to go to her set, I couldn't get in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now,
same with I Hate Models.
And I was just like,
thing.
I need to go home. I went home. Like I was done.
That's not to say
too.
though. That's not to say though that it's techno's fault. It's just so the outline or a map, a visual map of Beyond Wonderland. When you go in, all the way in the back right hand corner behind a main stage is a stage called the Looking Glass.
The Techno.
They Factory 93 stage.
Yeah, they decided to put Sarah Landry and pretty much all the other techno artists, which to be fair, for a long time, techno artists didn't get that much of a crowd. But this year of 2024, techno has been getting bigger and bigger and blowing the fuck up. And Sarah Landry as an artist, amazing, great music.
She's popping off right now.
Dude, she gets like 50K likes on her photos sometimes. I'm like, she should have been main stage. Same with
easily.
I Hate Models.
Yeah.
So
Main
basically what I'm trying to say here is that crowd, that stage wasn't built for the crowd
I think they
and audience
underestimated it.
that Sarah Landry, I Hate Models, and the entire techno community was going to have. And it's one thing to be like, super crowded and, you're like kind of like moving your way through the crowd.
Yeah.
It's another thing that I was being touched all around my body at all points in time because that's how many people there were.
I was also holding onto my phone.
I was gripping my phone.
And not only just that, like you have pressure coming from each like direction, like people trying to go in like 5 different directions.
And I'm a 5'2" girl. I was like falling.
Dude, they should have seen Blaze through I Hate Models. She got picked up off the ground because she's tiny. Like she's
is that why she was like?
That's why we left. Like when I turn around, like she was like higher than me in the crowd, and I was like, we're leaving. Also, if you're in a crowd surge like that, don't be fucking mean to people. I had to take Blaze out of there because Blaze was on the verge of a breakdown. Yeah. And it's not my business to go into like why or everything. Like she's very strong. She's one of the most strongest people I think I've ever met in my entire life. Like mentally wise. But at that point, it's like, okay, I have to take over and I have to get my friends out of here because they need to be safe and they're not safe right now.
Yeah.
I screamed medical because that's the quickest way you can get out, and not to say that it wasn't something that would have been needed medical for because it was turning into that. And because I know Blaze really well. And also it would have been something that turned me to medical because I was about to have a panic attack. And when I panic attack and I'm in the middle of the crowd, I cry, I break down. I cannot even hold up my own body weight. I probably would have been trampled. Like, getting out of there, I was yelling at people like, medical, like move, we're going to the med tent because that's where we're headed anyway. And people were death staring me. And it was so like, I understand because like everyone wants to see this artist, everyone's in this crowd, everyone's having a bad time. But oh my God, like if it's something that is this serious where like my life's potentially in danger, my friend's life is potentially in danger.
Yeah.
Please move because I don't want to be super, super mean. And I can get really mean if I need to, but like I hate yelling at people. I hate touching people, especially in crowds because I don't know any of these people. Like I seem aggressive because I play rugby. Rugby's different. Rugby's the only time I think I've ever hit somebody in my entire life because it's rugby. You
to kind of like wrap up this whole thought too is just like it just was an unsafe environment because of how poorly planned the infrastructure of that stage was made. And it's one of those things where it's just like I doubt anyone was like trying to be rude.
No one was trying to.
But like it's just
I feel like not only that, it was also in the area where a lot of people were jumping the fence.
Yes.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
that happened on day one.
Yeah, because Sarah Landry and I hit models were on day one.
No, I hit models day two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. That stage as a whole for the entire weekend wasn't great.
Because the stage, I mean, the fence that people were jumping was the caterpillar, and then next to it was the Factory 93 stage.
Well, I just wanted to go off of what Hera was saying because I kind of felt the same way when we were going through the crowd. And thankfully, when we were going through the crowd, actually, obviously, like, you're being squished and no one wants that, right? But thankfully, I didn't really run into as many assholes in that crowd. And actually, when the people I ran into, we were all kind of laughing about it while we were in there because we were all like, this is so ridiculous. And the people who were getting upset, like, I would just say, like, hey bro, like, ain't nobody want to be here right now. Like, and like, we would all just like laugh about that. And like, if you can at the very least just like be nice and like laugh it off, and compliment someone.
Yeah, because
like,
I was getting out of the crowd, and there were girls like, "Girl, don't go in there." I'm like, "Yeah, I agree. By the way, you look cute," and I just laughed.
Okay, so
it helps so much more.
None of those people, in my opinion, were assholes. I think everyone was just struggling.
Stressed.
And, like, I'm not mad at anybody in that crowd who was like pushing or a little bit more aggressive
because they were trying to get out. It was too much.
People were saying the same thing, and I didn't know they were closing off the VIP section, for example.
They were closing it.
They were limiting the amount of people coming in.
So like, so many people were like, "Don't go in there; it's not worth it." And I'm like, "Oh no!" And I was listening, and then like I was being as nice to like all the people that I could be at, and it was one of those things where it's funny because we always like we talk and try to like, you know, spread plur and spread like information on like the nicest way to move through a crowd, you know, saying excuse me, pardon me, like fanning people, all those things. I literally
have a video that me and Devin made on how to get through a crowd.
Yeah.
Like a joke video.
Which is great.
Wouldn't have even worked.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm like trying to like describe. It was so squished that there was no right way to move through the crowd. Straight up. There was no right way.
Yeah.
Granted, as long as you're nice, there was no wrong way to move through the crowd either.
Yeah.
But I do want to tell, there was one person who was like, maybe, I don't know, 4'11". She was short. She was like a mouse moving through, like she was by herself. And like literally, like I'm gripping my phone. I'm 5'10", and I was in front of you guys, and I just feel something underneath me, but I'm squished from all directions, so I can't see. And I look down, and there's a small little like not an actual midget, but like a short girl, just like squeak. Like I'm like, excuse me.
Must be nice.
I was like, first time in my life where I thought maybe I should be a little smaller.
Just those are situations where you just need the Ant-Man suit and just just through the crowd.
Honestly, with how squished it was, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like just jumped up and crowd surfed their way in.
Yeah,
it would have worked.
Just be like, carry me to the front, please. Like, let's go.
I know, like, one thing that if you are in that kind of situation, one thing to look for is if there are like small lines of people making their way through, you can kind of catch their tailwind.
Yeah,
at the end. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I made the train longer, but I needed to get out, or I was on the verge of a panic attack.
Or
in a normal situation.
Leave for safety. You're going to see these artists again. They're not disappearing. It's not their last set of their lives.
Or wait. You can also just wait.
Yeah.
In a normal situation, in a normal crowd-controlled, festival. Yes, I agree. You can catch onto a tailwind of a line that's already forming and moving, but I can only speak from the experience that I had this past weekend. There was no line. There was just complete chaos in everyone trying to go in all directions. And the problem is, normally, if there's a line, some people allow for a small gap so you and your 2 or 3 people can get through. Yeah. No, these lines went on for like the entire time.
Yeah.
So there was no way. And now there's like a line going past me on my left, a line going past me on my right. Now I'm squished in the middle of these two.
Yeah, and it did make it harder for sure.
Not fun.
It's the one time where I hate pushing. I don't like pushing. I don't like being rude. I was doing my best to still, say, I'm sorry, pardon me, excuse me. But I was being pushed into people. I was like, if I didn't put at least a little bit of like oomph in my movement, I wouldn't have moved. I would
or you would be moved into a dangerous spot.
And that does happen too, by the way. Like your friend Jayanne and her boyfriend Malcolm, they were right behind us. We were like grabbing them through when we were trying to get through for I Hate Models, and they got stuck. And Malcolm was just not moving. And I'm like, guys, you gotta like push just a little bit, like just a little bit, and like say excuse me. Obviously, be polite when you do it.
Malcolm is such a sweethart. He doesn't want to be mean.
And he kept looking up, and he was just like, I can't do it.
And so
Michelle and I waited for we waited for a couple minutes and we're like, we can't anymore because we have to just keep moving. Otherwise we're going to get stuck too. You know? So, but yeah, no, I mean, all in all, just be as polite as you can. No one wants to be there. So just remember that you're not the only person that's stressed there. Like, be mindful of others, be considerate.
You can see them again.
And you can
show.
wait. Like, at the end of I Hate Models, when we came out, like towards the end, there was... all the crowd was gone. There was no line for VIP. Like, you miss some of the set, you do, and like some people want to see the whole set, but like you can still catch the end of the set.
When conflict started happening, because then BTSM was playing basically right after, but everyone went to BTSM.
That's what I was about to include into the conversation too. It's just like at the end of this like thought process of it all, I don't think anyone who was in that crowd was their fault. At the end of the day. That those artists should not have been at such a small stage. Yeah. And
they deserve
there
better.
should have been a really, really strong conflict to give people reason to choose, should I go here or should I go there?
I Hate Models versus Sarah Landry.
Honestly,
because then like I think a lot of people would have split that set and there would have been a lot more movement in the crowd and a lot more decision making. And I know what that means is like one of them should have played at like the Mad Hatter's Castle, and then I think the other one should have played at the Queen's Domain. Because I think splitting it between those two stages, because those two stages are super big, it would have made it so much better.
Sarah should have been at Queen's Domain for sure.
At the very least, before I left to go home after Sarah Landry's disaster, I got a video. I just needed a video. I was like, I just need one. I need proof I was here. I was like this, like the whole time, but I was like, I'm getting it. I don't care. And then I left. I just want to share with Hera a fact that I have a sunflower tattoo, and it is my only tattoo.
Oh my god!
And I got it because of my childhood dog that passed away. And the day after she passed away, all we heard was the song "Sunflower" by Post Malone.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So that's why I got it.
Which is a great song, by the way.
Such a good song.
Posty, want to talk about Rolling Loud?
I was about to say, did you get to see Post Malone?
Nice. I'll cover that. I'll cover that after, because I do have a lot of thoughts on Rolling Loud.
Oh, we got a lot of thoughts on festivals.
Real quick though, really, I want to say, I understand now. I've seen, so we were able to get into Sarah Landry. We had to, obviously get through the crowd, which took us like 15 minutes to do that. But once we got in there, I gotta say, man, that girl is incredible. She's so fucking good. She played this remix of You and Me by Flume. This techno remix, and it was so good.
I love her so much. That's why I wanted to see her.
It was so good. And so I finally understand now, and I really feel like now that I like kind of understand all the hype around techno and hard techno, it really is something where you have to kind of be there.
Yeah.
Like you have to be in the thick of it, to really like fully enjoy it and appreciate it, unless you're Nand. Unless you're Nand.
No. I just want to point out, I don't want people to feel bad if they still don't like techno, even if they are in the thick of it, in the feel of it.
Me too.
I do.
I'm just kidding.
See, and this is why they have the nickname Techno Snobs. But like, for example, I was in the crowd. The speaker was engulfing my whole body for I Hate Models. And like, I was enjoying it for a brief period of time, but then I did get bored. I did get bored. And then I was just kind of like waiting for my friends to want to leave.
I felt that way.
Well, and that was crazy because Michelle and I were like, hey, and Nan's just like.
That's how people feel about hardstyle, honestly. Because
I love hardstyle.
Oh my god,
the stage was incredible.
The stage this year for the hardstyle was so fucking pretty.
Oh,
I'm so happy they put extra effort into it, because the first year that I went to Beyond, it was like small, and then even the second year that I went, I was like,
because it started getting bigger.
This year,
they knew
they put their whole ass bussy
that
into the goddamn hardstyle stage.
Yeah.
Oh my god, TNT on there, Coon on there, and Angerfist. Which, by the way, like this is why I miss Sarah Landry, was because I was just at the hardstyle stage and I was like, I'm not even gonna give up for this, and it was so worth it. That stage was beautiful. Everyone in there was incredible.
It's always the hardstyle stage. It always has the best people.
It does, and it has all the furries too, and I love furries. I'm not a furry myself, but I just love furries.
I'll go more in depth on this thought at another point in time, but because you brought up hardstyle, and I know hardstyle has so many different layers to it, and I'm a fan of dubstep, which has all these layers and melodic dub, all the genres that I like to have all these extra layers and all these beautiful layers. I want people to imagine music as like every layer and every sound is another color, right?
It's an onion.
Well, yes, but like it's another color.
Yeah.
So each of those colors, when I listen to the music that I love, it hits my body and actually engulfs me more, and it makes me want to move. But techno, like being such a minimalist style of music, there's only a few colors, and it's not enough colors to like get my body to move.
Oh, you just reminded me actually of this conversation Michelle and I had on the way to San Bernardino, which was, why I think I'm able to get into techno so much is because when I started listening to EDM, I was really into artists like Deadmau5, and Deadmau5 was a very minimalist dance genre kind of artist, and you can hear that when you listen to a lot of his old songs like Strobe, like HR 8393 or whatever the fuck it is, Sephi, like all these really minimalist songs. And the whole point of those songs is it's all about the buildup, right? It's all about like the journey to and adding small stuff along the journey, right? So that's why with techno, like you start out with a kick, and then that's why when you add the hi-hat in there, it makes it like just
it changes it.
Elevates it elevates the track so much more, right? But it's just a small change, I
feel like too, like techno doesn't appeal to a lot of people because going into the buildup is so long. Like some techno songs are like 6 minutes, and it takes like 3 minutes to finally get to the drop.
Which is why you have to have
gratification kind of thing.
Yeah, you have to have a good bass, and you have to really feel the bass, right? I imagine it's the same way with house. Like we always say that house is a very feel it in your chest kind of genre, right? And you have to feel that rhythm, that basic rhythm first before you can appreciate anything else.
After Bullseye in the hangar, we were listening to techno. I don't know what it was about that techno, but for that techno, I was enjoying it. You know what I mean? So it's just like it
depends on a lot of things sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like there's just so many different factors that make it so that like, why was it at I Hate Models I was just like eh. And same thing with Sarah Landry, I left. Like
there's I find with music genres, I feel like I love all kinds of music. I listen to country music. I love country
I saw
music.
that. You sent me a country song.
I sent you a country song. It's such a good country song though. Fun fact about me, when I listen to music I see colors. And it's really fun. And so like sometimes like when my friends will like send me music or anything like that, like I'll tell them, I'm like, this is what I saw when I listened to your song. And I'm like, sometimes it's like an entire like scene. Like one of the songs that Wednesday sent me, I don't think I told her this one, but I was like, I see like this like really like retro kind of like a beach, but everything's like pink and purple, and there's like these weird hues of blue, and I'm like, I can see it. And I think that's why I tend to like all kinds of genres of music. And I'm not saying that to be like, I'm better than everyone, I like everything. I just, the way that I can like visualize music and the way that it comes out, like everything has a color.
I'm the same way. That's why album art is so important.
That's why I brought up that analogy in the first place. Like the way I interpret music and how I see and feel it all is with a whole bunch of different colors. But again, that's what created that analogy with techno, because techno is like really dark, and the colors are just in my perception, they're just so bland.
I've seen techno as like bright yellow sometimes. There's some like bright yellow techno that I've listened to.
I see them all as like really dark colors, and they're not like bringing me to life in any way. So that's why I'm just like, my threshold for it is just a lot shorter.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Well, that's why, and you know what? That's why the visuals add so much more too. Because I'm just thinking back to when Sarah played that Flume remix, and they had like these. It was like these flashing blue colors. So like the visual that I get, of course, techno. I think black, right? But I think I thought black and blue, which are literally my two favorite colors, right? And so I'm like it elevates the experience so much more, But I think it's really interesting that you guys say that, because I also think the same way. I'm a very visual person.
Yeah, it's more immersive that way too.
How many times you guys hear me at a festival? I fucking love lasers.
I can't do too many lasers. Sometimes I get overstimulated. Like when Excision's at Thunderdome, when Excision played, like it's indoors, so the lasers are like super intense. Like I actually had to sit down like in the stands to like watch his set, which was beautiful, and I was able to like enjoy a lot of it. But there was a lot of times where I was just like looking down because I'm like, this is a lot.
Yeah, sometimes like, I mean, I love looking at the stage, but there are times where I have to turn around because I'm like, there's too much going on. Like I just need to like not look at the stage right now.
Too much, yeah.
Is it just me? Because I don't think I've ever been overstimulated by lasers.
I mean, you also have
problems.
like major ADHD. So.
I don't think it's the lasers for me. It's the strobing lights. That's where it like gets
to me. There's too much going
That's
on.
normal
so
for
my brain
Nand.
goes,
That's Nand's brain by default.
Yeah,
So
that's called blinking.
Like, I'm used to this actually. I do this all the time, and you're like blinking time with the strobes. You're like, everything makes sense in my life. I understand.
So you're getting hypnotized. Like okay.
yeah, it's normal.
Well, I don't think I could ever do something like acid at a festival though. I'd get so overstimulated.
Oh, I'm the same way. I cannot
but I've never done acid.
I mean, I did do psychedelic pre-workout at Coachella 2019, and I was fine, but it was a little much, and it's just not for me. You know, I don't like having to like force myself to socialize when I'm on something like that with other people. So I would just prefer not to do that.
When I don't partake in like anything anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I've been like sober that for like years, but when I used to, and I did take, I was at a
What's that? You mean like psychedelic pre-workout?
Trippy stuff.
Trippy pre-workout.
I was seeing Valentino Khan and I was freaking the fuck out. It was too much.
Because you want to see Valentino Khan.
No, but then after,
his mustache is just warping on his face.
It's like it's turned into like two mustaches now. And
I was like, whoa. Oh my god, what am I doing?
Starts talking.
I may or may not have partaken in trippy pre-workout at 4-5 different festivals now, and it's been great every time.
It's also something that you have to kind of like work your way up, and also work your way up to. Like if I feel like once you've done it, obviously if you've done it enough times and you can handle that, then you can. But you know, I've tried it twice now, and I just prefer not to at the end of the day. But you know, everyone's got their preference.
Yeah, personally, I don't see like trippy stuff as a festival substance because it's just
it seems more healing.
It's like that's just my personal thing. I know people do it, but like personally for me, I can't.
I think sobriety is a little bit overlooked in the rave scene nowadays.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I just turned 23 days sober, by the way, so huzzah. I'm really proud of that. So Beyond was actually my first festival that I did completely sober. I had to stop because I had some issues in the past like 5 months, because I chose to heal myself in very negative ways. Again, this is like the same thing that would happen like when I was with Marc. Like that's how I chose to heal. I was like, drugs fix, or pre-workout fixes everything, and it doesn't. And letting people know, like in the rave scene, there was a lot of baby ravers and Beyond this weekend. A lot of people were on Molly. A lot of people were doing and partaking in pre-workout substances.
Tumbling pre-workout.
Yes, and it was like, I'm like, you're more than welcome to do that. I carry no judgment for people who do choose to do that. I mean, I haven't even been sober for that long, so it's hard for me. Like I understand why people choose to partake, but if you do choose to partake, test your pre-workout. There's an end overdose booth at pretty much every single
event. Go and
get your
visit
Narcan training.
And they'll give you stuff for free.
I always have my Narcan with me.
Literally free.
I had to use mine this weekend. I had to give it to Niall's one of Niall's friends who they weren't sure if.
And I just want to throw this out there. I know we always talk about this stuff, and we always talk about like prepare. It's not like it doesn't happen. We have friends like literally this last weekend. Our friends, they found a bag on the floor and they tested it just to test it. It was full of fentanyl.
Yeah, one of the girls that came up to me this weekend, it was on the second day. And she told me, she goes, I really wanted to partake in the substance, and I tested it. She goes, I carry my Narcan, I always have my test kits. And she goes, it tested positive for fentanyl, and so the only reason why I'm here right now is because of testing my pre-workout. And I like, it almost like brought me to tears, because I was like, this is so important, this is so scary. I think personally, this is a personal thing, I think it should be a prerequisite that if you're going to an event, you must be Narcan-trained and you must carry test strips. It should come, your Narcan training video, I think everyone should have a serial number for your Narcan card, and you have to get trained in order to buy your ticket to an event, or you have to plug in your serial number. Otherwise, you're not allowed to buy your ticket. And then at the event, alongside of your ID check, you need to have your Narcan card. You should not be allowed in without Narcan. You should not be allowed in without testing strips. I think it's scary. There's so many people that were on things this weekend, and they were all nice. They were all fine. But I also saw at least 20 people this weekend being carted out in wheelchairs, and that's terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Like these poor people. Like you just need a little bit of education. You just need a little bit of understanding. I Narcaned myself in January. I overdosed. And I'm still alive. I had to do it to myself. It was terrifying, but I wouldn't be here if I didn't get my own training, which I did last year. And so it's like, okay, well, like this saved my life. This saved multiple people that I know now lives this weekend. Why aren't more people doing this? The last thing that I ever want to see, I've lost so many friends of mine to drug overdose or to overdoses now. When I was just in high school, I lost 6 friends, and it was all to fentanyl. Because back then nobody knew to test anything. Yeah. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, my friends could still be here. But they're not. And I don't want anyone to have to suffer through that. I like cry again because like I don't want anyone to suffer through loss in their lives. It's terrifying. Yeah. And like, I don't know. I looked at my dog when I was overdosing because he was the only one that was with me at that time. And I was like, I don't want to die. I have my dog. That's why I said earlier, like Doug saved my life. Like I wouldn't have done like Narcan myself if Doug wasn't there, and he just sat there like fucking.
He knew.
Like,
yeah.
He's like, "What are you doing?" Like,
he walked over and put his paw on the Narcan.
Yeah. he's like, Mom, I need food tomorrow. Don't die on me. I'm like, well, shit. Like I guess now I have to stay alive for these dogs.
And I just want to point out that with Narcan training, like straight up, using Narcan on somebody, that's the easy part. It's so simple. It's so easy to do. All Narcan training is being able to identify if someone is overdosing. And let's be real, whether you have Narcan, I mean, you should have Narcan on you at all times if you're at a festival, whether you have it on you or not, knowing how to identify it is so important.
100%.
So important.
And also with Narcan, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
The great thing about Narcan is actually if you use it, it doesn't even if they're
anything.
not ODing, it does not affect you negatively. So it's better to be safe than sorry and to use it even if you don't know.
Because
if you are, it feels a lot better though. Like your heart rate just is like
slows down.
It just drops back to normal, and you're just like, it literally, like when I had to do it to myself, I felt oh my god, it was like relieving, and it was this huge thing of stress taking off my shoulders. And then I also stopped puking, which was great. I was puking a lot of blood, and I was like, oh, this is either an overdose or I killed my liver again. So I was like,
to put it very simply, obviously, please go and overdose. Check out with an overdose. You can learn more. But if I recall correctly, Narcan it literally just stops the overdose from happening.
It reverses the effects.
You know, like the let's be real. If you're overdosing, you're being poisoned. Your body is literally being destroyed and shutting down. And having Narcan come in is like throwing a fucking shield in between the thing that's killing you and your body.
You still need to seek medical help after
100%.
Yeah, it's a temporary fix. It's a temporary fix. You still have to go see a medical tent or a doctor, whatever medical services that you have access to, you need to go see them immediately.
I was so stressed day 2 at main stage because a girl, I think she was, tumbling, rolling. And her friend just freaking out because that was her friend's first festival. And she was freaking out because she didn't know what to do. And so I was like, okay, you need to sit her down. We'll watch over her. Don't worry about it. So, and it wasn't even just like my group. It was like it was another group behind us that were also like watching the same girl. And I made sure like, does she need a fan? Does she need water? Like, do you want a lollipop? I don't know. I still had the Narcan in my bag, just to like make sure. And then the girl from the other group, she was like, I think you should bring her to like Oasis just to like calm her down. And so they literally picked her up and took her to Oasis.
Which is good.
Oh, thank God.
No, the Oasis tent's right by the an overdose booth too. So it's a safe place. Like there's always an Oasis at Insomniac events, which I'm very grateful for Insomniac doing. Having a safe space at any events, whether it's like a sober tent or an Oasis so people can calm down. It's like, that's another thing like with safety, which I think alongside of like what happened with like the I Hate Models and Sarah Landry stuff, like having that safe space is important, and it's really is. And I do commend Insomniac for doing that because they do a good job on that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna point this directly at everybody who's watching this from the other side of the camera. If you are a person who introduces the use of pre-workout in any way, shape, or form to your friends, or you carry it in, or any of that stuff, you better be Narcan-trained.
Yep.
You better be fully prepared to know exactly what to do, where to take them, know exactly who to talk to. If you don't, I get it. If you don't have the time to teach these people how to do that, but if you're going to provide anything for these people, you better know how to take care of them just in case.
And you better test it too beforehand. If you give pre-workout to your friends and you don't test it beforehand, you could cause a lot of harm, and you don't deserve to carry that on your shoulders. That's why I say this, is that you don't deserve to carry that burden. You deserve friends that are fun and happy and alive, and you also deserve to have a good time with them. And pre-workout can enhance your experience. That's why people take it. There's no shame in it.
It's just, your
just
responsibility.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility to make sure everyone else is safe.
It's responsibility. It's peace, love, unity, respect, and responsibility.
Yep.
Every time I trade with people, I tell them it's peace, love, unity, respect, and there's one more R. It's called responsibility. You're responsible for yourself, you're responsible for your friends, and you're responsible for having a good time. If you choose to ignore that last oh my god, sorry, I lost my voice this weekend because I was going in the crowd all the time, but and my frat boy voice was out. If you choose to ignore responsibility, then you're choosing to ignore why people go to events. And that's because we want to have fun. You can't have fun without being responsible. I will be a parent about it.
Yeah, we're still adults at the end of the day.
Oh yeah,
so
you're grown.
that.
You're grown.
Grow
Take
up.
responsibility for yourself.
Be a man. Get Narcan-trained. Or a woman and be getting
Grow balls.
Grow some tits, bro. Get Narcan-trained.
The simplicity and the access to get trained is so
easy.
So easy too. Dude, just at a festival you can get trained.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh yeah,
It's easy.
100%.
Yeah,
So-
and it's quick, so there's no reason not to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So on that note, this has been a very
moving on to more crazy
informative and
Wow, we just
kind of
parented you hard.
dark kind of moment. So let's move on to something a little bit lighter.
You have to all call us
But
mommy and daddy now.
I do want to finish up on
Beyond.
I do want to finish up on that thought in regards to Beyond, in like the tickets and how overcrowded it was and the people. Okay, maybe I am parenting a little bit more, but don't fucking sneak in.
Oh my
That's
fucking
loser
God.
behavior, bro.
Don't sneak in, man.
Yeah. And also, guys, if you know you're going to a festival, get your tickets as early as you can.
And if you know that you
don't-
can't afford the festival, you don't have to go.
You don't have to go.
It's always going to be there. Take care of your responsibilities outside of the festival too.
Just stay off social media.
I'll just point this out because it sounds like these two are very upset and their attitude is very high right now. It's because they saw that video of all the people sneaking in and causing a lot of the problems that we did experience. Because here's the thing. I'm sure a lot of people did buy their tickets early. I'm sure it's just shit happens and some people didn't get in.
Yeah.
Them feeling kind of shitty about not going, that's normal, that's fine. Choosing to sneak in is the problem.
I think I'm also just so upset because if people continue to sneak in, they're going to close down the festival and then you ruin it for everybody else.
You do.
So it's
if you're paying for a product and then you see someone else getting it for free, you feel like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also
me saying that as an influencer.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
but you also risk
I also work for it though.
You risk getting banned from festivals. You risk it's not worth it.
I was
getting
just so
arrested.
scared to the point maybe the fire marshal would have came and be shutting down. It's too much.
Someone can sneak in with weapons too. That's the scary part.
That's another reason why I don't do that.
We don't want stuff happening like that. There's a reason why you buy tickets and go through security. There's a reason, and it's because we want people to be safe at festivals.
Yeah, I will always tell people because I know some people will still joke about it when they don't get their tickets. They'll be like, "Oh, should I hop the fence?" And I'm always even when it's a joke, I'm like, "Don't do that."
Please don't do that.
I'm gonna be honest. I never make that joke anymore. Maybe years ago, but I never make that joke with people anymore. It's don't sneak in. People will be like, yeah, I'm gonna just sneak in now. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
If you want to go to more
sneak in.
events and have more fun at events and you're worried about pricing for tickets or something like that, you can also consider working the events. There's ground control options, which is incredible with Insomniac.
That's
you just gotta apply for it. Helps a lot. Obviously, if you're Narcan trained or if you have CPR training or any sort of med training, you can also apply to work with vendors at these events. You can apply to work for Insomniac in general if you decide hey, I want to start doing media. Hey, I want to work security. There's ways that you can get into festivals and do these things without cutting into your own savings account. And it's not hard to do. Sometimes it's some extra work. Sometimes you get paid on top of it. Sometimes it's volunteer work, but it's worth it. And you can still enjoy these events without having to spend an arm and a leg.
Yeah. And also you don't have to go to festivals. Go to your local shows.
Oh my God, local shows are so much more fun.
Yeah. Go support your local artists. Go to all of those. It's actually really fun. Yeah, exactly. Go for the openers.
I found so many of my favorite artists because they were openers for people, and I'm just like, oh, I'm going in early because Alien Park is playing, and then I'm like, now Alien Park's at Thunderdome. Like, I'm going in early for Alien Park again. Like, let's freaking go.
So I saw Roman Silver in Countdown a couple years ago. So yeah,
going for the openers.
I definitely recommend.
Just to close that thought out, no hate to anybody who wants to go, and like, I get it. I understand why you wanted to sneak in, but just please don't, because the after effect of it is just not worth it for yourself and for everyone else involved. But I get it. Like, festivals are great, shows are great, everything that this entire community, it's amazing, and I understand you all want to be a part of it as well. But the only way we can continue to keep it safe and continue to spread plur the right way is if we kind of follow the rules a little bit.
Yeah. And last thought, just to close out this segment on Beyond, as a lot of you guys I'm sure probably saw, my car got bipped. My car got bipped, and if you don't know what that means, it means my car got broken into. Someone broke the front passenger window, and thankfully nothing was stolen, even though we had a $150 Rolling Loud jacket that Michelle had bought
but here's
in the
thing.
front seat.
Who would have known that?
But my whole point though is that the neighborhoods are really not worth parking in. And so, I mean, we've been parking for years. Bless you. We've been parking for years in the neighborhoods, and we never had a problem until now. But, it's never a problem until it is, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, personally, I know I will never be, I don't even want to drive my car to the NOS anymore. And just that entire neighborhood is already sketchy enough. So if you can, guys, use Uber or park in the officiated lots. I have heard stories of cars still getting broken into in the officiated lots. So just park at your own risk. Do whatever you can to like try and get there through other means. If you can have a friend drop you off,
and don't leave valuables in your car.
Please don't leave valuables in your car. I've even heard that it's a strategy to like leave your either your windows down or your car unlocked and leave some change in the middle so that people know like, hey, like I don't have things like in my car, like you don't.
You risk getting hot wired a little bit more like that.
You do,
It still makes it a lot like people in San Francisco. They just leave their cars unlocked because people got sick of having their stuff broken into.
Yeah, no, that's what I've heard. So like there's always going to be some form of risk, and at the end of the day, you just want to be able to mitigate the amount of risk that is involved in doing that.
I do. I do want to point out too, like it is an unfortunate fact that San Bernardino, I don't know which years, it was like the #1 murder capital of the world or something, or of America. So it's like it's not the safest place. So like just know that.
Insomniac, please
go
find a different venue.
They are trying to slowly move to LA, and honestly, LA is not even that great.
Faster.
I also want to like throw this in there too. Sometimes, I mean, just being able to laugh situations like this off, because like sometimes it's the wrong place, wrong time. Like when Devin's car got broken into, I wasn't with him. I was like, I was still in the venue. So when I was walking up, I was aware of it already. I checked all the other cars. Nobody else got hit. All the glass was still on his windowsill. Nothing was touched. Doors were locked. This was just one of those, like, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time and someone decided
Devin
to hit your
stalker.
window.
Or it was targeted. One of those. But there have been years where entire rows of cars, all of their windows got broken into. There was even a year, someone told me there was a year where it was after the festival. People were walking to their cars and there was a guy with a crowbar literally breaking someone's window as people were walking by.
That's ridiculous.
So
imagine being the person that broke into your car, like, I choose that one, and it was your car.
No, literally, yeah. So like it could be fucking Russian roulette for all we know.
I'll say this too. Could have been worse. I don't know what that thing is called. The thingy on the bottom of your, like, I'm gonna just say flux capacitor. I know that's a spaceship term, but there's a thing.
The catalytic converter.
Yeah. People would like steal those because they worth a lot of money.
I did a whole report in 4th grade on that.
So it's a good thing they didn't take your converter because then your car would just be fucked.
Yeah, and or like break the windshield or something, because then I wouldn't even been able to drive home. at least I could
At
drive
least it was
home
a
with a
window.
blanket. Yeah, exactly, right. So, but point being, park at your own risk.
Don't leave
to
valuable
events.
shit.
And it happens everywhere. It doesn't happen in just SoCal. I had people telling me that it happened to them at EDC Orlando. I've had people tell me that it happened in KC. You know, like it could happen anywhere. So just be aware of these things. Again, don't leave valuable shit in your car. I saw some people saying that they purposefully leave trash in their car to like show like, hey, I don't got shit in my car. So
for a long time, I didn't wash my so I had a 98 RAV4.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wash my car.
So yeah,
So
just be mindful of these things because, you know, like I said, you know, these can be major vibe killers for anyone, especially if you have stuff in the car. Thankfully, because I didn't, you know, we were able to just kind of laugh it off. It's a window. Yeah, it's going to cost like $500, but hey, like it could have been way worse. And, you know, I could have had other stuff taken. We were even debating putting our stuff, because we were going to drive home that night. We were going to put our stuff that we like brought to Jesse and Dustin's in the car so that we could drive straight home. And I'm so glad we didn't do that. So,
Could be worse.
yeah, exactly.
worse.
Could have been worse.
So Ultra.
So
It looked like a blast.
So
honestly.
what's funny?
What are
A
you
blast of water.
What are you talking about? You mean the rainstorm in Florida?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's
Oh, yeah,
funny about
something
Ultra is that my whole Rave fam, my original Rave fam, they went to Ultra this year, and I was actually supposed to go with them, but like for some reason, I don't know, I was like, do I want to go to Ultra this year?
Not this year.
Sorry guys, but you guys got rained down on canceled day one.
For those of you who don't know what Ultra is, so for those of you who don't know what Ultra is, it is a 3-day music festival in Miami, Florida. There's multiple Ultras around the world, but this is one of the major ones because it's at the same time as Miami Music Week, which, as many people know, is a very like notable and respected, you know, week of events and music related things. They have the EDMA Awards now, among other things, throughout this week in Miami. So it's not just the festival that's like popping in Miami, Florida. It's everything.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of things going on. So to our understanding, obviously we did not attend that, but all over social media we were seeing that the first day got rained out,
canceled,
and then halfway through got canceled.
Yeah. We saw a bunch of videos of people playing around in the mud, guys shuffling in the mud.
So funny.
It's so much fun. I'm a mud girl. Like I'm like the first year I went to Shambhala, it was chaos with rain and mud. I just walked around barefoot, like rolled around in the mud.
Yeah,
I was
Michelle
like,
loves the rain.
I'll
so
say this.
whenever it starts raining, she's like, yes. I'm like, no.
I'll say this. Rain in California for like Countdown or some of the festivals we have here at the NOS event center. Totally garbage. I hate it. It's cold. It's wet.
Yeah,
I'm
Countdown.
uncomfortable.
It floods.
But rain in the summer in Florida during Forbidden Kingdom was the best experience.
Different.
That was awesome. I was thriving in that rain.
Yeah, because it's like humid and
it changes the experience when you see some of your favorite artists when it's raining and disgusting, because then I think what people like, if you see for an event, in my opinion, and you're like, oh, it's raining, I'm not gonna go, like, go. Like, change your mind right now, because the experience that you'll have seeing your favorite artist in the rain is beautiful.
I will say,
I saw my favorite artist at EDC Vegas while it was raining.
Yeah, you did.
Rush Over Me.
Yeah.
At Cosmic Meadow.
And I will say that during I Hate Models on the second day of Beyond, it started raining during the middle of the set. And actually, you know what? It was a vibe.
It was such a vibe. It's
It's
always such a vibe.
I will
think
say.
if you try to control things like that, like the weather's out of your control, don't try to control it. Just go with it, and you will find so much more like joy in your life. Yeah. But embrace the chaos. Get Moldavite. Don't get Moldavite. You'll end up like me.
Or if you don't
Get Moldavite.
if you don't like,
If you want a little chaos in your life.
A lot. I have 2 pieces of Moldavite now. I don't know.
What is that?
It's a stone. So Moldavite is it's like a gemstone. It's like a crystal. I'm a crystal girly. I don't know if you can tell by how I dress.
No way.
I know. I like crystals. Me sitting around here with a bunch of rings on my fingers. Moldavite's the stone of change. It's the crystal of change growth. It brings chaos into your life. So when I got Moldavite, you only should get this if you are ready for it. I got Moldavite, and 30 minutes after I wore it, I got invited to work with Black Tape Project, and I said, "This is Moldavite," but it also led to 2023 being the most chaotic and traumatic year of my entire life. Besides losing Marc. Okay, that's different. But it brought in a lot of change for myself. But the thing is, I think all of that was really needed, because it allowed me to be who I am today. And so I bought that piece of Moldavite in 2022, and then I have snot leaking out my nose. When you do a lot of pre-workout, you ruin your nose. I have to get surgery. Not slay, but I bought another piece of moldavite in December of this past year in 2023 because I said even though this caused me a lot, it was needed and it allowed for so much growth. And this year has been chaos, but it's been incredible chaos, and I've learned to embrace it in a much different way and understand things in a much different way. So when it comes to things like rain at a festival, or like there's mud everywhere, like oh no, the day of the festival got canceled, like I wasn't at Ultra, but something like that, like I view that as not like, oh, my weekends are ruined. Like I view that as like, what opportunities is the universe opening me up to now?
Yeah, make the best out of it.
Is making the absolute best out of everything because it's important.
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at like ice baths for a while, because I doing them regularly was it made it so that like I could withstand the stress and the shock of being in like that kind of situation. So good for you. Yeah, and it actually it really does bleed over into a lot of other things, and teaches you to be like way calmer and keep your composure in those situations. It
also forces you to adapt. That forces you to go into things that cause you like now I have to force myself to do this. It brings a lot of mental strength to yourself, and that's really important.
Yeah, because you go into fight or flight response the second you get into the cold water.
And it takes so many ice baths in rugby, dude. After every single rugby game in university, first of all, varsity athletes get treated like kings and queens, dude. So you get ice baths after each game, and like the first time I was like whatever, and then by the second game I was like, I want to go in the ice bath first, and everyone's like, you can't go in first, you have warts on your fingers, you have to go in last. I was like, well fuck. Which I did. I had a wart problem for a little while in university. Why? I don't know. I don't have any diseases, so
it's because you like going out in the mud.
Yeah, I think it's just because I like going out in the mud.
Yeah. I had a wart problem as a kid under my feet.
I had a wart on my foot too when I was a kid. I'm like, where did this come from? And then it fell off, and I kept it for a while. There was
such a Hera thing.
I kept my warts for a while. Also, my toenails would fall off because of rugby, and I had a bag of like 6 of my big toenails for the longest time. I'm really glad. I'm not really glad. I'm really pissed that I threw them out. They were all black. They were really cool. Anyways,
I don't know a single person like this girl, but I love it.
I still have. I have like my friends like skin and hair at my house. Like I have a lot of people's skin and hair at my house still. I don't know why. I don't want to throw it away.
She's going to clone all of her friends.
I don't want to clone anybody. I just want it. If you have skin and hair and you want to send it to me, you can. By the way, just label it. All my friends are labeled. So
I'm gonna wrap this back up to raining at festivals.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I wanted to also say really quickly too, if you don't like the rain, there are also ways you can prepare for the rain, such as bring ponchos. You can get the really thin plastic ponchos, and they're really not that much more to add to your bag, honestly.
And honestly, you can bring an umbrella.
You can bring an umbrella to
They're not gonna stop
festivals.
you.
I've brought mine to almost every single one that I knew it was going to rain, and no security has ever said anything.
Yeah. Also, the wraps for your shoes because it floods.
Yeah, and I also brought that this weekend as well. You can get the shoe ponchos on Amazon. They're cheap.
Yeah. I'm a big boots kind of person. If you know it's going to be muddy and rainy, just wear some boots. Wear some boots because I don't know about you guys, but if my feet and socks get soaked, I'm more miserable than anything else. Like my body can be wet, but if my feet are wet, I just feel more miserable.
That's also how you get sick, by the way.
Yeah.
So
is that a true thing?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
You get your feet wet. Like, so I got sick after Shambhala and Beyond, like last year, because I ran around both those festivals barefoot the whole time, and I got sick as fuck afterwards. I also ran around Los Angeles barefoot for a good chunk of the time, but Los Angeles is kind of more difficult because there's a lot of rocks everywhere.
You're going to Los Angeles this year?
Well, what?
You're going to Los Angeles this year?
Yeah. I want to try to do media there this year. So it's one of my 5 jobs that I decided to pick up in the past 3 months.
I'll see you there.
Media.
Nice.
You're going.
First year.
Okay.
We'll talk later.
Don't camp in GA. Anyways, moving on.
But yeah, the two most important things you want to keep warm if it is cold is your head and your feet.
Yes.
So,
that's where air escapes from.
That actually kind of explains why I needed to warm up my feet after Countdown that year. Because I remember like everyone was like, just put your feet in the shower. You don't need to take a full shower because we're not home yet. But just warm up my feet, put new socks on.
Yeah. If you're in a car ride home and you still find yourself really cold too after an event with rain, if you can stop by like a place where you can get a hot coffee, obviously like dump out a little bit so it doesn't spill over you, but put it like between your thighs, like right by your crotch, because you have major blood vessels running through your thighs, and keeping that blood warm from like the outside in will actually help your body heat up more.
Yeah, so, I think that's a femoral artery.
Yes. starts with your arteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, places you can get warmth on your body, obviously, is that area and your armpits. So.
My head would look great between anyone's thighs, by the way. Moving on.
Other things we heard about Ultra. Also heard that Excision played at the main stage.
As he should.
As he should, but also in between Martin Garrix and who else? Who else was it? Tiesto.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
I think it's good because you know what? That splits up the crowd.
Yeah.
That splits up. I think they were really smart with that. And a lot of people I saw so many things on Twitter. I love watching what happens on Twitter. I think it's so interesting. But people were upset that Excision was playing in between them. I'm like, well, you're first of all great use of crowd control there because people are going to split things up.
That is true.
But
Imagine
also,
people just staying there for Tiesto into Martin Garrix. That crowd wouldn't change.
No,
True.
it wouldn't change. Like you cause disparity within the crowd and you cause them to move, which is great because you always want crowd flow at events. Otherwise, you're gonna have shit that happen like at Beyond.
Yep.
Like I think they did a smart thing, and also Excision deserves to play on the main stage. Like this is an artist that we've seen come up from pretty much nothing. He's a Canadian too, so I will always support Excision. But now he throws his own events. Like he has his own entire like event production kind of staff and team. Like the visuals that this guy puts on. This is a main stage act.
I remember when he first did the main stage at EDC. That was iconic. I remember people were freaking out.
Yes. And he's a main stage act. He should be there. Everyone that was upset that he was there. Also, people were upset that he was catering to the crowd. Apparently
that's what a DJ does
with his music, and they're like he's like a lot of like the bassers are like, well, he's not DJ, there's not enough rhythm, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, like if I'm a DJ and I'm playing on the main stage, I'm gonna cater to my crowd every single time. If I'm in a city that I know is like they like drum and bass here, I'm gonna play more drum and bass.
Martin Garrix played drum and bass
as he should.
Everyone's playing. Sarah Landry played drum and bass.
BTSM through
I hate models play drum and bass.
Listen, if it's my own tour, then I'm gonna do whatever I want. Easily hands, point blank.
Your own tour.
But if I'm at a festival, I'm going to cater to the crowd.
Yeah,
I want my entire crowd to jump up and down with me, and if I know switching it to a particular mainstream song is gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
A lot of DJs always cater to like the events they go to. Like for example, Griffin, he's known as like the happy, all that stuff. But at Nocturnal, he was throwing the fuck down.
Throwing down so fucking hard. Oh my god.
Yeah, so it just always depends on like the crowd that it brings in.
Sorry. Steven came out for a second.
I agree though. There's been some sets that I've gone to watch where I have expectations of artists sometimes, where I'm like, oh, I want them to play like this because that's how I've always seen them, and they play a different set, and I've still always enjoyed it because I'm like, this fits the vibe right now. Like if it fits the vibe, then play and cater towards the vibe. Also, I think people don't realize like Ultra's a very mainstream festival. It's part of the reason why I don't think I'm honestly ever gonna go to Ultra because it's super mainstream. And not to be like I'm like shout out to the underground. Shout out. I don't like things that are super like this is why I've been debating on going to EDC because it's a very mainstream thing.
You never got?
I have. The first year that I went, I got heat stroke, and then security had to rip me apart from my boyfriend because he pushed me in a crowd. And I broke up with him there, and it was just a mess. This was like 2021, by the way.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, that was a mess.
You told me about that.
It was a mess. It was a tough time. So I'm debating. I might go this year though, and I might be doing media this year instead.
Nice.
So, because I'm never camping in EDC again.
If you do go, we'd love to hang out.
Please, I would love to. It'd be really nice. But yeah, I don't know. I think like catering to a mainstream crowd is not that hard. You want to play songs that are big. Also, as like.
Just play Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, just play Mr. Brightside. Everyone will go nuts. And then if there's people
or Sweet Caroline, like there's so.
Oh my god, I love Sweet Caroline. It's such a good song. I don't understand like why that's looked down upon because like you're doing your job. He literally did his job.
Yeah.
Let him do his job. Okay.
Devin, your nipples out.
For free?
Thank you. Come on, Beverly. I'm just kidding. Beverly. She's taking photos.
Okay. She's on nipple duty for both of us. This is the nipple couch. That's the non-nipple couch. So, well.
Also, quick correction. It was Hardwell and Excision set was in between Hardwell and Martin Garrix, but alas,
sorry,
still
I didn't go.
I think I would. I think
None
I
of
would
us.
like to. I would like to go at least once, not necessarily for Ultra itself, but I want to go to Miami Music Week.
I do too.
Miami Music Week, I would go
do
to. I
as
just
well.
skip Ultra. There's too many parties on at Miami and like during Miami Music Week. So I tour manage now, by the way, one of my many jobs. And so I'm managing Wednesday at the moment. And so she went out for Miami Music Week and she sent me her itinerary and she's like, I have a party this day. I have a party this day. I have a day party this day and a night party this way. I might go to another night party on this day too. And I'm like, this is like 5 days and you have like 8 parties to go to. I'm like, how is this possible? I'm like, also that sounds really fun.
I saw a TikTok of a girl getting ready for Miami Music Week club at 5 a.m.
Yeah. No, literally, that's when they start to go.
Yeah,
I'm like,
because it starts at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
whatever, and then it goes until like 6 p.m.
yeah, I can't
It's
do
fucking
that.
nuts.
I can't do that. It's not my sleep schedule anymore.
I would like to go next year. I had a couple people hit me up, a couple like labels actually that were like, "Are you going? Like, we can
Yeah.
set you up with stuff."
Yeah, same.
I'm like, not this
I was
year,
like,
but
sorry.
I need to
This
plan
year's chaos.
ahead.
Yeah.
I need to plan
It's so
more ahead.
close.
Miami
It's something
Music
I would
Week
have to
is
plan.
something that I would get like an Airbnb for too. Like I wouldn't want to stay in like a hotel. I'd want like a big house and like space, lots of space, just so I could just like to explode when I like have
Yeah.
my things and everything.
Plus, it's like a whole week. I'd want to be able to like.
you want to enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to be able to
Yeah.
go back to my place of like rest
And break.
as frequently as I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'd rent a car too.
Oh
As much as I
yeah.
hate driving.
100%.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
anyways.
Just because we have 15 minutes left, I want to quickly glaze over Rolling Loud, and I know Nan wants to talk about Laser City before we hop into fan questions. But yeah, I really quickly wanted to, since we're so much on the festival topics right now, I wanted to talk about Rolling Loud. I got the opportunity to go to Rolling Loud this year with Daniel and Michelle, and honestly, I have to say, I did only go 2 of the days. I went Thursday and Saturday, and Thursday was pretty awful because we showed up too late, and the line to get our tickets was so long. There was people cutting. That day was awful. We ended up only making 2 songs for Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign.
You saw Kanye?
Yeah, they had a whole day for him,
I didn't think
and
he-
Ty
I
Dolla
thought
$ign.
he died.
You thought he died?
I thought he died.
No, he's still kicking.
Kanye West.
Yeah.
just got
And
married.
Yeah, he just got married.
He got married?
and he's like
Yeah.
happy. He's like happy now.
Sorry, Kanye.
But yeah, so I will say that day wasn't fun, but Saturday we went all day, and honestly, I had a great time. Our whole group, except for Josh, I think, who got food poisoning.
Say
Yeah, he
Josh.
didn't have a great time.
I
But
miss Josh.
I will say, I think Rolling Loud gets a bad rep. I think a lot of hip hop festivals get a bad rep because of the crowd. And I will say there is definitely reason behind that. The crowd was pretty ass. But aside from that, though, honestly, my recommendation, if you do decide or you're looking to go to a hip hop festival, just go early. And I do also recommend, obviously, if you can financially do it, like we had VIP, and the VIP experience, I think, was a lot more pleasant than, what the GA crowd looked like. But also just going early to the festival made it so much more enjoyable. We were able to go there, take our time, and like pregame before we went in. We went on a bunch of rides. We checked out a bunch of the merch. We ate good food, and then we got good spots for the acts that we wanted to see. And a lot of the acts that were playing today, I think we saw Big Sean, we saw Summer Walker, Suicide Boys, and Post Malone. And
You got to see Suicide Boys.
Suicide, which, by the way, that was my first time seeing Suicide Boys, and I'm a fan now. I have like 5 songs downloaded now.
Same.
They're amazing.
I remember seeing Suicide Boys in like a bar, like
Really?
like a little
Wow.
like maybe the stage, like the room was maybe this big.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Those are sometimes the best experiences.
Long
Yeah.
time ago.
But I just want to say this because I know we were talking in the last episode just about like expanding your perspective and like going and checking out other genres of music. And I will say again, I know that everyone's financial situation is different. Everyone can't afford to always go to a ton of festivals, and we're fortunate enough to like be able to do that a little more frequently than the average human. But I will say, like, if you have the opportunity to go and check out a hip hop festival or even just just a hip hop artist, definitely do it. It's a lot. It is a very different experience than an EDM festival, but I will say that performance aspect is still there. And man, Post Malone, dude, like
I love
that. We stayed from pretty much start to finish. And I mean, aside from just being an incredible human being, like that man was saying thank you after every single
Isn't he
song
going country?
and thanking. Yeah, his last album was it's country, but it's like pop country.
He
it's like pop,
collabed with like Morgan Wallen
but
or something.
it's like
Morgan
pop
Wallen's
hip
an
hop.
icon.
Yeah.
It's not really full country.
No.
It's like pop hip hop country.
I don't like country that much, but I do like Morgan.
I
As
think
you
it's
should.
Morgan Wallen. I could be wrong.
Well,
Question, because
Yeah.
I didn't go. Did they sell Four Locos?
That's dangerous.
I don't know. I didn't see any, but I think they did.
The reason why I get scared about Rolling Loud, and I know this because I used to bartend for Insomniac festivals and Rolling Loud, etc. People could buy 2 Four Locos to themselves.
See, that was at EDC Orlando the first year that I went. Like, I was able to buy 2 Four Locos at once, and I was like,
oh yeah,
this is dangerous. I literally made a video of me saying, like, me after one sip of a Four Loko, and it's me just floored.
Dude, those things are crazy. And then this happens so often. I don't at the time I didn't.
loco.
I didn't like sending the security, but I would see people buy 2, go into the crowd, give it to their friend, come back, and then buy 2 more. And I'm just like, that's someone underage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone underage.
Yeah, as you should though. Like,
When it comes to Four Locos, those things are crazy.
Also, you can be arrested for doing that for your friends, by the way. So don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's not worth it.
He's
Again,
no good.
another thing that's not worth it.
And then you wanted to get into Laser City.
Oh yeah, I mean, are you?
Yeah.
wrapped up on
just to wrap it all up. If you can, if there are hip hop festivals happening near you,
go.
Yeah, go. Just go check it out. Go check it out. Expand your perspective.
Yeah.
Laser City was so fucking cool.
He's been dying to say
He just
that.
showed me videos of it.
Laser City was so fucking amazing. I had the opportunity to go see them.
What is Laser City?
Laser City is exactly as it sounds. It is a shit ton of fucking lasers to an EDM sound set. So it's Gareth Emery presents Laser City. It's grown such a following where they just do their own thing. Like
it's its own child.
Yes. So their tour is almost over. So I had the opportunity to go see them in New York actually, and that was actually a fun fact. My first time being in New York, which is really really awesome. And
Did you try bagels there?
I did.
Aren't they good?
They're huge.
I know,
so much cream cheese.
They're so good. I always ask for half cream cheese because of my dairy issues.
Yeah, I just took the pills.
Yeah, yes, you should.
But Laser City was fucking amazing. The lasers are unlike anything else. I know people are like, oh my god, Excision lasers are so good, and I'm sure they are. But not compared to Laser City. Absolutely not. Laser City does something with these like waves of like prism like rainbow lasers. Like,
isn't Gareth Emery like a trance DJ too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So oh my
trance
god,
is a
progressive
beautiful
house trance.
genre.
Yeah.
I will say with this particular set, it kept changing in terms of genre. It kept going from house to techno to some a little bit of dubstep. It was all over the place, but that kind of goes to show that it wasn't about the genre. It was about the laser show and the visuals that came with it.
As it should.
Cool.
And it was next level fucking amazing. And I will say this too, the next day I went to go see William Black, and it's like his lasers were trying to match Laser City. I was like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Everyone wants that kind of level of production.
Yeah.
But it's also so beautiful to be able to see that. So,
And
yeah.
last thing on my New York trip, just because it was my first time there, I just want to shout out all the nice people who recognized me and said hi and was like very very sweet about it. Because like, I'll be honest with you, at Laser City I was on a little bit of trippy pre-workout, so I was getting a little nervous at the fact that this couple kept looking back at me, and I was like, am I being just too much? Am I being like loud? And then finally she leans over and whispers like, we met at EDC Orlando 2 years ago when I gave you and Devin water, and I got to meet you guys, and I've been watching your guys' journey, and I just wanted to like say hello, but I didn't want to like bother you. And I was like,
do you have more water?
she was so sweet. And then every time from literally everybody I met in New York, they're like, why are you in New York?
Yeah.
Every single person.
Why not?
Do you know, they're like, why are you here?
That's so beautiful.
And the same thing happened at William Black too.
Yeah.
Like when people saw me or like said hello, they're like, why are you in New York? And I'm like, because I want to be. And William Black is great, and so is Laser City. So if you haven't seen Laser City, go see Laser City.
I think the beautiful thing from just what you've mentioned from that about like what we do for work and everything, especially being more in the scene, is that we have the opportunity to connect with people, and that's why I still do what I do, because I want to connect with people. I feel sometimes people come up to me at festivals and be like, I'm scared to say hi to you. I'm like, don't be scared. I'll make you look at my armpit hair, but like, I don't be scared to come and talk to me.
The most like random, but like such a great like, you know, people that follow me experience was I was at Subtronics' forum show last year, and people from South Korea came up to me and they're like, we're such huge fans. I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way, dude. So it's just crazy. Like, we connect with so many people around the world. Fucking mind blowing.
That's like literally it's bringing like tears to my eyes right now. Like, that's like really beautiful. Like to be able to connect with so many people like around the world just with what we do, I think is great. Because I think sometimes it's like you're like, oh, like you're just posting stuff on like social media and whatnot. It's like we're also like telling a story of the scene and what the scene is
and
means
like to us,
what it means to us, and like all of these people at shows, like even if it's like your first one, like you're going for the reason that like this music did something to you that wanted to make you go. And so being a part of continuing that love and like the EDM scene is just like, it's a very humbling experience, and it's just like, it's really lovely. Like, I'm really thankful. I'm like gonna cry. I'm really thankful to do what I do every day, and I'm really thankful to like connect with people, because that's like, that's the most important part, I think, of like life and like doing things in this thing. Like I want people to know that like we're here for a reason, and I'm like really happy to be here still, and I'm happy to be able to like connect. I love meeting people. I cried this weekend so many times because I was like seeing people. I like made one connection this weekend with this girl that like, shout out Dana, I love you. And I was able to like connect with her and like have this beautiful like moment of connection and peace that we found among each other, and like it was insane, and I wouldn't be able to have that kind of stuff if I wasn't here in the scene. And I thank you guys.
I have to agree with that too. It's just like connecting with people is like the reason I keep doing this. People always ask like, how do you keep going to all these festivals? Aren't you tired? You go, because
physically, yes, we're tired.
I go to a lot of different festivals.
Yeah, I kind of only went to Beyond because to meet people.
Yeah, like y'all really keep us going, honestly. Like you truly do.
You guys give me a purpose.
Yeah,
like,
thank you guys for all the support that you guys have given us over the years.
Meeting those new ravers who always come in and they're just like, oh, this is my first festival.
Oh my God.
And like I feel safe enough to come to this now because of like, you know, a video I saw, or maybe someone brings like, hey, this is my rave baby, and like I'm their rave dad, and or I'm like their rave mom, and I'm like I'm showing them how to like, you know, be a part of all of this and have plur and like
it's just so beautiful.
You know,
every time people come up to me like this whole past week, they're like, I always have new music because of you, and I was like, me? I was like, me? I was like,
I love seeing the music that you put out, because you introduce me to new music all the time.
I love that.
I'm like, yes, okay, like show me this song. Like, show me the top TNB songs. And I'm like, oh, I know that one. And then I'm like, oh, but I don't have that one. So I go to Spotify and like download the songs. So it's so nice.
Great. Wow, we got so sappy at the end.
Yeah,
I love it though. I love it though.
Let's do some fan questions before we wrap it up.
I'm happy to be sappy because
it's so great,
dude.
It means you're a person. If you don't cry about connecting with people, I think there's something wrong. Okay, I know some people aren't as emotional as I am, but
I hope you're watching V. But like, in New York, you were like, I connect with you the most because you're a sad boy and you cry and you're emotional. I just hope you know I didn't take it personally. I live that.
Yeah.
I am.
Nan's her favorite sad boy.
I'm an emotional human. I'm very accepting of the fact that I'm emotional.
Me too. That's why we're friends.
I still remember when we first met. We screamed at each other. That was the first thing we did.
The first
it was great.
thing, I think because it was at Nocturnal, right? And you were like kind of like covered up, and I wanted to like make sure you were okay, but I also screamed at you because I was excited to see you. And then you were like, I need time, and I said, oh, overstimulated. Take your time. I get it. And then I filmed stuff with Devin, and that video popped the fuck off because everyone was like, your ass looks so fat.
Oh my god.
Because it looked so flat. But I'm thankful. I love hate comments, by the
All
way.
the fucking comments on that on YouTube.
Like, she has no ass. And I'm like, actually, at that time, I had a dumpy.
It's just all the people from the Midwest.
It was the angle, okay? It looked like I didn't have a butt.
I'm sorry.
Anyways.
Next time I'll be more mindful of
that. Make my ass look fat next time. Otherwise,
it's all about the angles.
Duh, give me the angle.
Oh wow, look at all these fan questions.
All right, let's do some rapid fire. Let's do some rapid fire.
Okay.
I got an easy one.
You have to like answer this kind of
short-ish. I won't tangent, I promise.
Because this is like the one thing that everybody wants to know is like, what is the story behind you becoming BTSM's Naomi?
Ooh, okay. So I was luckily able to meet Julian at Shambhala in 2019, the first year that I went, and it was just like this like little like BTSM church fan meetup.
Julian is half of BTSM, by the way.
Yes, he's the main dude, the big hair, the incredible mustache, incredible. So I met them there, and then in 2020 when I started doing more content creation online, I'm gonna like breeze through this really fast. I can talk really fast, but I started doing more content creation online, and then BTSM actually reached out to me to do some work with some of their merch, and I said, Slay, I fucking love you guys. And they didn't really know the story about like Marc or anything, so I was like, this is all me a lot. So I was crying, but whatever. Anyway, so I started doing that with them, and then later on in 2020 and like kind of like 2021, they were like, hey, like we have this character Naomi, you should cosplay her. Like this is what she looks like. Can you do look like this? Whatever. And I was like, hell yeah. And then I was like, I should custom make these outfits for myself because fun, whatever. And it's like super unique. So then I made a post with Naomi, and it did really well. And it was like for like the Cyber World Tour, and it was awesome. And then by the time that Lost Lens came around in 2021, which was the first year that I went, they were like, let's do a Naomi meetup. It's gonna be iconic. And then that whole thing at like the dinosaurs happened, and that was one of the most beautiful moments of my entire life. That whole outfit costed me like less than like $50, by the way, because I made most of it.
Slay.
And it was thrifted. But it was just this like whole thing of everything happening at the right place at the right time. Like if I hadn't met Julian at Shambhala in 2019, this wouldn't have happened. Also, if they didn't reach out to me during COVID in 2020, it wouldn't have happened. And like just working with them, and like also like I find that everyone from Cannonballing Records that is there right now is the most genuine people I think I've ever met in my life. Julian's one of the most kindest and sweetest people I think in the entire EDM scene. I love that man more than anything besides my dog and my family and like my close friends, but he's up there. He's up there. They're really kind people, and I think that we were able to all, like me and like everyone that is there, just were able to connect really well, because when I started doing Naomi, it was because I was like, again, like with the outfits, like I'm like, I want to create a space for people to express themselves, and being able to be a part of that like church fam thing and show people that like anyone can be Naomi. Anyone can put a pink wig and goggles on and like a green shirt and be part of something more than just an outfit. They're Naomi, and they're part of the church fam, they're part of Cannonballing, and that's what the goal was with Naomi. And I think it's still going. And now there's all these different renditions of Naomi. There's evil Naomi, there's like techno Naomi. I want to do like even like the anime cosplays of Naomi. Like there's so many ways that you can go about it. And so like when I'm at like any sort of BTSM set and I see people dressed as Naomi, or I see people copying like my Naomi outfits, I get so happy, because I'm like, this is what I want. I wanted people to feel a part of the church fam just as much as I did. So yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Next
question. Go.
How did you breathe in between it? Did you breathe?
Well, now that there's an extra hole in my nose, I actually can breathe a lot easier.
Third hole to breathe out of.
Yeah.
Slam.
I was trying to watch you. I'm like, is she breathing? You do that in like one breath.
I know.
Pee or poo poo?
Depends on the day.
It's been asked like 3 times.
We just want to note that she asked herself this on her.
I didn't want to note that at all. What do you mean? How are you going to talk for me like that?
I like calling people pee-pee. And then whenever I tell people I'm like, you're pee-pee, I'm poo-poo. Because my sister's actually always called me poop-head since I was growing up, because I have brown hair. I know, you're like, wow, you're blonde. It's a wig. I wear wigs.
Slam Bam wants to know, what style of EDM first got you into the rave scene / made you fall in love with it?
Hard sell.
Favorite
Hard sell.
Favorite Doug story?
Doug? Oh my God. When I picked him up, I had to drive 13 hours to go and get this dog. And then on the way home, there was a snowstorm, and I went through Snoqualmie Pass, because it was going to be the same time if I went through there or White Pass. And I was driving through, going down with summer tires, by the way. It was very dangerous. And I had this little 20-pound pup falling asleep in my lap because he didn't want to sit by himself. He's got car anxiety. I guess he was just born with it. And I was sobbing my eyes out going 20 through Snoqualmie. If you're Washington, you know what Snoqualmie is like in the storm. Falling behind a truck. And it took me 4 hours to get him off that pass. And then when we got there, I was like, I could breathe again. I had like several panic attacks that I had to pull over like while I was driving. But that's my favorite memory of him because he's just like such a goob. And now whenever we go on car rides, if I'm like not touching him, he gets mad. So that's my favorite memory of him. And he used to be I picked him because he was the fattest dog. So, and he's still the fattest. He's a big boy.
He's so cute though.
He's a good boy.
Maria Lupe asks, what's your favorite festival to attend?
Shambhala. Shambhala's my home. Shambhala provides me growth and peace and beauty in the world. Wakan is a close second. So, I know I haven't been to DEF CON 1 yet, and when I go to DEF CON, I think DEF CON's going to be
I also want to go to DEF CON 1.
Let's go to DEF CON next year, because I'm planning this whole Europe trip.
I'm trying to get Sam to list us. So, Little Texas.
I know who Sam is. Don't
Okay.
worry. I love his girlfriend so much now.
I
know. Haley's great.
Keep me in the loop with that, because I really want to go.
If we can make DEF CON, honestly, I really want to go to Shambhala.
I'll do his media for free if he goes to DEF CON. Hi, Sam. I'll do your media for free. Shambhala?
Can we Wakan, Shambhala? Because Okeechobee is my absolute favorite festival, and
Okeechobee is beautiful.
I love the whole you know.
It's the similar vibes of Shambhala and Wakan. If you with Shambhala right now, get on the list. Or if you can try to figure out a way to do me. Yeah, we'll talk more afterwards. But do Wakan too. I'm doing.
I mean, if you're going, I'll go.
I'm going.
Okay, bet.
I'm gonna go every single year.
Okay, bet.
Serenity Rose asks, how do you install your wig so well?
I can literally show you guys right now if you want me to. It'll take me 2 seconds.
Slay.
Here, let me just get this off of my freaking ring. So, I have a bandana on right now with my wig, so it kind of covers. Oh my god, it covers up like my part. Here, I'm gonna take the headphones off for this. So, bandana is just to kind of cover up where my part is. This is gonna get so tangled for a second because I tied it into my hair, and that happens. But I love de-wigging. I literally just throw as I'm sitting here bald. My hair is super short. I fried her off, so she's in her regrowth period. This is all I do.
Still looks good though.
The regrowth period looks great.
It looks pretty healthy.
She's been slay. I take the wig cap. I can do this without a mirror too, and I put it on like this. It's like really reminiscent of my Pitbull outfit that I did.
Oh my god, throwback! I fucking love that.
It was such a hot
so
Pitbull.
Funny.
I just tuck all of my hair into the wig cap because it's short enough. If you have longer hair, you're gonna have to braid it.
Yep.
And then I don't use glue or anything. If I want things to stay like for a while, I'll put like the Got2b. Oh my god, am I stuck? Goddamn snake. I will put like the Got2b hairspray all over my wig cap,
which is my preferred hairspray, by the way.
It is the only hairspray actually that you should ever use.
Yeah.
But I'll put it on like this. I make sure my wig is actually a little bit extra tight. It does cause me headaches sometimes. So I'll take Advil, or I'll make sure I have like ibuprofen on me. And then I'm going to have to move this a little bit. SOS. You just dunk like a bucket. You just bucket dunk like this. And then that's literally it. And then you just adjust as you go. You adjust it, make sure it like sits properly on everything. Sometimes you get hair caught in the front. You should always make sure your wig has combs right here. The slays right in. And yeah, I most of the time in pictures, if my wig cap is like really showing, I'll cover it or I'll Facetune it a bit. I have no shame in that. But I can like leave it like this, and like you can tell it's a wig, but like you can't really tell it's a wig. So that's it. It takes like a couple of seconds, and then I'm done, and then I'm wigged. Does my cap look okay? Can you tell? Mm-hmm. A little bit, probably, but it's not that bad. As long as my brown hair isn't showing, I don't really care. And that's how I wig.
Slay.
Yeah, solid
wig. Okay, go Nand.
Are you going to Splash House this year?
Oh my god, wait, yes I am. I am going to Splash House. Wednesday's playing. Go see Wednesday's set. Thank you. Next.
Great underground artist right now.
Chromatic. Fantastic artist. He's my hyperfixation at the moment right now, just because of his song, of the remix of the Fuck the Club Up remix with Nicki Minaj. So it's high heels on my tippies. It's like, and it is my favorite song at the moment. So I love chromatic, whatever, how you pronounce it. So yeah, sorry if I mispronounced it. Don't hate me for that. Go.
Riot Trance wants to know favorite artist right now.
Ooh.
Or favorite artists, just in general, I guess.
I'm gonna have to go general because I have a lot of really favorite artists. The Tweakers, Little Texas, Darren Styles, TNT. Literally, Inkerfist I just saw him this weekend. One True God has been like on repeat. Obviously Wednesday because she's my girl. I listen to her all the time. Chromatic. I've been listening to a lot of.
Oh my bad.
Just like pushed
My
it into her mouth.
bad. My bad.
She was like,
This chair.
I'm like going through things. Jesus Christ. There's
Just wanted to hear you better.
Yeah, there's this artist that I've been listening to a lot lately named Boxy, like the YouTube like internet meme that happened ages ago, and they make crackhead music. My sober anthem is called Unmedicated Pop by Boxy. It's incredible. You're gonna put it on. It's 1 minute and 13 seconds long, and you're gonna go, "What the fuck is this?" It's me. That's me in a nutshell. So next
On the bonus segment.
Wee.
Question for me.
Oh yes.
Biggest difference between European ravers and American ravers?
I think just how they treat festivals. I mean,
Since you've been to like all a bunch of Canadian ones and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like Canadian festivals are really similar like to U.S. festivals. There's a lot of self-expression with clothing and everything, but UK ravers, or not UK ravers, like European ravers, they don't tend to focus as much on like their like what you wear or anything like that. Like they're quite literally just like showing up for music, which is fantastic. I think that the form and the idea of self-expression has been expanded in North American and UK and Australian festivals specifically.
I've noticed in Australia they've adopted Plur too.
Have they?
Yeah, Plur and Candy.
Australia does. I have a lot of my followings actually from Australia.
Same, yeah.
And so like
cool.
The other week I like called myself a cunt on my story, and all my Australian fans were like, "Cunt's actually a good thing."
Yeah,
and
it just means buddy.
It means buddy. I'm like,
You
yeah,
fucking cunt.
you fucking cunt. Clear, you're a cunt. No, H2 out. Anyways, I think I think it's just how we view like different forms of self-expression. Like I think a lot of people in Europe too, like they just wear clothes.
Yeah.
And and slay. Like that's how they like do like their self-expression. Like you don't have to always put on like this crazy outfit or anything like that. Like me walking around Europe and like something like this, it's probably like not as like Europe as it maybe just like the top and the pants, sure, but like they're like it's hot out there.
Yeah.
They're dressing to be
also
super comfy.
It's also like what Sonder told us.
Yeah.
You know, be normal. You're weird enough.
Yeah. Well, I like people looking at me and being like, that girl's weird as fuck. Like, I don't know if I want to talk to her, if I want to be her, if I want to sleep with her. It's probably a mix of all three. So I'm flattered by all of them. So, but I'm celibate now apparently. So slay. I went sober from everything except nicotine. So that's the joke I make with myself.
Slay.
Yeah.
Well, this is quite the note to end the episode on. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
I did. I came really hard. Go subscribe to my OnlyFans.
I was just about to say, I'm like, and if you want to,
we'll talk about it in the bonus.
Like we'll talk about it more in the bonus episode.
So you better continue. Go to the bonus. We'll go.
It's just fun over there. It's like think of it like my Twitter, but on crack. If you're
please join us for the bonus.
Yeah,
episode.
we'll get more in depth with that.
It's gonna be fun.
Gonna listen to the live
I might
music.
show you my feed on the bonus episode too for free.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
let's
free
definitely close this
pics.
out because I want to get to that as soon as possible.
We'll see you over
Thank
there.
you so much for being here. One more shout out to all of our sponsors, the big one being BoomBoom. They are sponsoring this episode and many of the episodes moving forward, so please go check them out. You already know they are a nasal stick, and they're great for feeling refreshed at a festival and just honestly when it's really, really smelly. But please get yourself a BoomBoom, use code I'm Peaking, and you can save some money on that.
The lavender scent is untouchable.
It's great for anxiety.
And ironically, we all lost our lavenders.
We all lost our lavenders ones at Beyond. Yep. Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
So, and on top of that, please, like, subscribe, comment,
please.
and I want to say thank you to our patrons for
quick
being a part of
moment.
all of this. And
if you didn't already know, if you want to go check out, we'll have a bonus segment with Hera. We'll be listening to music and
getting
talking
all the
about
tea.
getting all the juicy tea. But if you didn't already know, you can go and check that out. We have different tiers that you can subscribe to, and the Patreon is the best way to directly support the podcast and help keep this going. And to all the patrons that are currently subscribed, we are so grateful for you guys. Thank you guys for sticking along with us. And even if you're not a patron,
we still love you.
Supporting this podcast is a beautiful thing to do. Every single person on this podcast, in my personal opinion, from the years that I've known them, grow. And these people have been a part of my growth. I've watched them grow, I think they're worth absolutely everything. So please support this podcast. I really value these people a lot. You guys mean a lot to me. I'm gonna cry again. I really love all these people. They've been incredible with what they do, and I love that I'm able to be a part of it. So thank you too for having me. I really appreciate it.
So, can't wait for you to move here.
Yeah,
let us know if you guys want to see her come back on the podcast again.
Because she is moving
to
Cali.
Moving to Cali.
You want to
it'd be fun. It'd be fun to have her on again.
I'll co-host. I'm good at that.
Yes.
So
we'd love that.
Fun.
It'd be really fun.
Anyways, that's been it for this episode. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Leave a like and a comment. You're trying to do it to me too. Leave a like and a comment and let us know who you want to see on the podcast.
Smash that notification bell.
And again, to the people that you want to see on the podcast, let them know too. Let them know too. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
See you in the next episode.
See you
next time.
Bye.